Sect leader, there are guests. A Tao-molding divine emperor woman walked up to Yemo and said. Yemo looked at this woman and said happily, Goddess Xianxia. You joined the divine Tao sect too? Xianxia said excitedly, yeah. Sect leader. After I knew that the sect leader of divine Tao sect was Brother Yi, I immediately discussed with my family and joined the divine Tao sect. Brother Yi, you're sect leader now. You only need to call me Xianxia. Okay. Thank you for coming to help Xianxia. The divine Tao realm has regained life force. I believe with your talent, it won't take long for you to reach Tao nourishment. Thank you, sect leader. Xianxia had known Yemo for a long time, but she had never thought that Yemo would one day reach this level. Qin Xuanji walked up to Yemo and said, Sect leader, greet the guests first. You can leave here to me. Her tone was still shaky. Her countless years of dreams really occurred. Yemo's spirit sense scanned the guests in the guest palace. Wang Nanshuang, Ji Shi and Ji Sini. A black-skinned Tao Essence Divine Emperor sat nervously with Zhu Wenmao next to him. That Tao Essence was the cocky Tao Essence Divine Emperor of the Suyu Divine Tao. He called Zhu Wenmao over clearly because he was scared. Other than this, there was a half-primordial essence whom he didn't know. However, Yemo knew Dong and who was next to him. Lan Qilan was accompanying them for now. Yemo came to the guest palace. Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect Ji Sini greet Sect Leader. Shuiyu Divine Tao Lu Zhong greet Yi Qianbei. Sect Leader Yi. Great Sun God Mountain Qilin come to accept punishment. When Yemo came in, everyone got up greeting. Although Lu Zhong had conflict with Yemo noticed that half-primordial essence first. This guy was extremely selfish. Yemo knew this guy was not only going to take Mu Xiaoyun and sacrifice her to the Great Sun God Mountain and wanted to spirit control the entire divine Tao realm. Despite know that this guy was dreaming just with his half-primordial essence, but one could see how selfish this guy was. Jilin's hair was loose and his eyes looked very bleak. Seeing Yemo stare at Jilin as soon as he came in, Dong'an quickly got up and said, Sect leader. Our great sun god Mountain Jilin, divine emperor, offended sect leader before. He is very worried. This time, it's his idea to take out many resources from the great sun god mountain to rebuild the divine Tao sect. He came to apologize this time, please. Yemo waved his hand and stopped Dong'an talking. He stared coldly at Jilin. I really didn't understand before why a human race divine emperor like you would spirit control the entire divine Tao realm, but today, I finally understand. Hearing this, Jilin subconsciously worried. He wasn't too sure before if Yemo was primordial essence, but now he realized Yemo was definitely primordial essence divine emperor. Hearing that Jilin wanted to spirit control the entire divine Tao realm, almost everyone looked at Jilin. Jilin quickly bowed, sect leader. There's definitely no such thing. Jilin is a divine Tao realm divine emperor. How would I dare to spirit control divine Tao realm? Jilin is already very regretful asking for the immortal goddess sacred sect saint to sacrifice to the mountain. I've already removed the great sun god mountain. Really? But why is a beast race divine emperor like you in our human race sect? If you think you can hide from me with your little power, you're too coxy. Yemo's words were very shocking. Almost everyone looked at Jilin. Jilin had always been human race divine emperor. How did he become beast race? Sect leader Yi, Jilin divine emperor has always been our great sun god mountain divine emperor and... Yemo interrupted Dong and again immortal friend Dong. This Jilin is possessed. Although this happened a long time ago, he's not human race. Other people couldn't see Jilin's chi, but Yemo was primordial essence and everything in the world was at his will. How could he not see this? Jilin, you're really from the beast race. Dong'an looked at Jilin in disbelief. Then he realized, no wonder when the Aquarius race invaded, you happened to be in solitary cultivation. Jilin's face changed. He knew he was caught. His figure began to dim as he wanted to run. It would be too much of a joke if a half-primordial essence could get away from Yemo. Jilin's figure immediately became solid again. Don't even think about getting away from me. Yemo threw out a fireball onto Jilin. Yet, this most ordinary fireball magic turned a half-primordial essence to dust. A fireball killing half-primordial essence. Despite this half-primordial essence being beast race, everyone in the palace felt cold. Yemo's cultivation level was beyond their imagination. This was the difference between heaven and earth. Thank you, sect leader. Otherwise we wouldn't even know that the number 1 divine emperor of the Great Sun God Mountain is a beast race. I'm going back to the Great Sun God Mountain now. Please understand, sect leader. Dong'an got up and bowed. Yemo understands Dong'an. The number 1 divine emperor of the Great Sun God Mountain just got annihilated. The sect needs to be reorganized. He nodded, do as you please, immortal friend Dong. After Dong'an left, Zhu Wenmao said, Chen Bei. Thank you, Chen Bei, for building our Suyu Divine Dao. Yemo knew that Lu Zhong was scared of him giving him a fireball too. Lu Zhong was cocky, but Yemo didn't plan to kill him. Now that Zhu Wenmao spoke, Yemo saluted with his fists. Congratulations on building Suyu Divine Dao again. Lu Zhong quickly bowed too. Lu Zhong was blind before and dared to offend sect leader. Please punish me. Yemo frowned and sneered, Lu Zhong, you don't need to beg for your life. On Wenmao's account, I'll let you go. Answer a question. How much do you know about Duanmu Yuebwa? Lu Zhong bowed and said, the divine Dao realm Samsara Dao was destroyed. Countless immortals couldn't go into Samsara and their souls perished. Martial ancestor Yuebwa was merciful. When he vindicated primordial essence, he had decided to open the Samsara path and connect to the nether realm. Ever since then, there was no news of him. Duanmu Yuebwa probably opened the tunnel to the abyssal realm, not the nether realm. He didn't know the difference between the two. He wasn't a cunning old bastard like Fried Egg, so he probably didn't know his cultivation level would be suppressed there. In there, he might not even be able to beat an ordinary Dao Essence Divine Emperor. Although he opened more than half the tunnel, he died in the void between abyssal realm and human realm. As for how exactly Duanmu Yuebwa died, Len Shuachi might know. When he had the time, he could go ask Len Shuachi. At the same time, Yemo decided to reopen the Samsara tunnel. Does Duanmu Yuebwa have a short spear magic artifact? Yemo asked. Wan Bei don't know. Lu Zhong answered carefully. Okay, you can go. Yemo said calmly. Seeing Yemo not intending to sort things out with him, Lu Zhong quickly got up and left. Zhu Wenmao sighed. Yemo saved his life and helped Suyu Divine Dao a lot, but martial ancestor Lu Zhong really didn't know how to act. He thought Dao essence was powerful, but now a half-primordial essence easily perished before Yemo. If Yi Qian Bei really wanted to kill martial ancestor Lu, it would just be the wave of a hand. He knew that nothing he said would change anything, so he got up and left with Lu Zhong. Seeing Yemo glance over, she quickly took out a bottomless gourd, sect leader Yi. This is the 3-treasure primordial essence gourd. I've only been able to give it back to you today. She is. Yemo took the gourd and interrupted. No need to mention this again. Leave first. Then, Yemo said to Lan Qilan, martial uncle Lan, have a seat outside with goddess Nanshuang too. I want to talk to sect leader Ji alone. They got up and left. Ji Sini was immortal goddess sacred sect leader, but she was only a Dao actualization divine emperor. There was no way she wasn't nervous standing before a primordial essence divine emperor. Sect leader Ji, sit first. Seeing how you fought against the Aquarius race, I won't kill you. I need to ask you a few things and you reply honestly. Otherwise, don't blame me. Yemo stared at Ji Sini and said. He had no good impression of her at all. Ji Sini sighed. She knew that neither her nor her immortal goddess sacred sect was anything to Yemo. If it was before, immortal goddess sacred sect might be able to get a lot of support, but now if Yemo said anything, perhaps the entire divine Dao realm would attack the immortal goddess sacred sect. This meant that if Yemo wanted to annihilate the immortal goddess sacred sect, he wouldn't even to do it himself. Luckily, Yemo didn't hide the feat of immortal goddess sacred sect Saint Qing. Sect leader Yi, please ask me anything. Ji Sini will tell you everything I know. Jean Sini sat down and answered. Yemo nodded and sat down. When I was at the immortal goddess sacred sect prison door mountain, I saw some white bones and a chain made with heaven luo essence metal. I really want to know what that is. Jean Sini was shook. She didn't expect Yemo to ask about the immortal goddess sacred sect. She fell silent for a long time and said, This is an internal matter of the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect, but since the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect has offended sect leader Yi many times, I'm willing to answer this question. Emo was hopeful. He really wanted to know what relation those white bones had with him. Why did he feel sad when he saw it? Xianxia collected her thoughts and said slowly, the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect has also valued virginity to be sacred. It is the most important thing in the sect. The sacredness of an ordinary immortal goddess was so important, much less the saint of our sect. However, not everything goes as planned. The 73rd saint of the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect, Yuan Ruatio, was very talented and had the foundation to reach primordial essence. However, in a trial she lost her virginity, and she wasn't willing to say who she lost her virginity to. In the end, she was locked by the martial ancestor in the prison door mountain, burned by the Een fire. A bunch of inhuman fake nuns. Do you not have parents yourselves? Fuck. Emo cursed. It was fine to keep virginity, but because one lost it, they would be burned by Een fire for countless years. Emo looked down on this. At most they should be punished and kicked out of the sect. Even a Tao Essence Divine Emperor wouldn't be able to last long under such inhumane torture. Hearing this, Xianxia's face changed, but she sighed. Emo could say whatever he wanted. Could she rebel? Emo sneered at Xianxia. Do you think you can't resist me? When Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect threw Yuan Ruatio into the prison door mountain to be burned, could she resist? Remember, don't do to others what you don't want to happen to yourself. Xianxia knew there was no point arguing with Emo about this. She just said Ruatio still gave birth to a girl in there. In order to protect her daughter, she used all her life force and burned her essence blood to tear open the void and get her maid Ruan Huyun to take her daughter and leave the sect. This is all I know. As for where Ruan Huyun went, no one in the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect knows. Do you have an image of Saint Ruatio? Emo asked again. Xianxia nodded and took out a blank jade slip and then imprinted an image for Emo. Emo looked in the jade slip. It was an extremely beautiful woman. Emo felt she was familiar. He seemed to have seen this image somewhere before. Seeing Emo frown and not talk, Xianxia didn't say anything. After a long while, she remembered who this image was. He took away a woman called Gong Linxiu from Fengkong Grand Emperor Estate. She left 2 images. One was his mother of his past life, and one was Goddess Ningxi, who served his mother. His mother looked really similar to Ruatio Saint. Was Ruatio Saint his kin? Emo thought of what Linxiu said. Ningxi raised you up and had feelings for you. She was scared you would suffer in the cultivation realm, so she wanted to go down and take care of you. That night, Ningxi left the estate, and I've never heard of her ever since. When he was thrown into the cultivation realm by Fengkong Grand Emperor, Ningxi went down to find him. Thinking about how he was thrown into East Black State, Emo's spirit sense immediately pierced many realms and landed on Luoyu continent. Emo City was still the same. Emo saw many familiar people there. Ning Sishuang, Muin, Li Sandao. Soon Emo got up. He saw Ningxi. She was a bit old, but her looks were still there. Emo didn't know how Ningxi went to the cultivation realm, but he knew it was very hard for a great immortal to go to the cultivation realm alone. But since he saw Ningxi, it meant that she did it. However, her chi was messy and her life force was dispersed. It seemed she might die at any time. She lived alone at a spirit chi arid mountain. She was quite distant from mortal villages. She just looked at the distant sky. Emo knew that she probably knew she didn't have long to live. Emo didn't dare to stay here. He sound transmission to Qin Xuanji. I'm leaving the sect for a while. I'll leave the Divine Tao sect and Divine Tao realm to you guys. Then Emo disappeared from the guest palace. Qin Xuanji knew Emo went to find World Mountain. She quickly bowed, yes, sect leader. Xianxia got up and looked at the direction Emo disappeared. She wasn't strong, but her knowledge was there. How could she not tell that Emo crossed the void without even needing to tear it? Just how much power was needed for this? Zhonglian Peak was a short mountain range. There was an extremely tall peak called Zhonglian Peak in the ranges. There were plenty of spirit herbs there. So, the nearby residents called this entire place Zhonglian Ranges. There were spirit herbs on the peak but only limited to one place. These spirit herbs were only good relative to mortals. To cultivators, they were worthless. There was an extremely huge river before the peak. This river was connected to the peak, forming an arid land. However, this was only arid relative to mortals. In an extremely distant place, there was a few straw houses. The nearby residents didn't even know about this place. They were stealthed by restrictions. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to see at all. A middle-aged woman sat here looking into the sky as though reminiscing the distant past. Chen Bei. Emo stood behind this woman for a long time, but she didn't notice at all. Emo felt she had no power. Emo called out shakily. This middle-aged woman suddenly turned around. When she saw Emo, her eyes froze. After a long while, her face was covered with tears. "My baby! My life is at its end." Emo immediately understood what she meant. She had no cultivation level left. She thought she was about to die and thus saw an illusion. At this moment, waves of sadness surged in Emo. He had no relations to Ningxi, but she brought him up and took care of his mother. When he was kicked into the cultivation realm by Fengkong, she tried all means to come to the cultivation realm. With her great immortal power, she would be easily able to live tens of thousands of years, but she had only been to the cultivation realm for 1,000 years or so, and her life was at its end. "Zhou mother, this isn't a dream. I came to find you. I'm late. I really am Emo." Emo was crushed by this deep kin relationship. Even his primordial essence Tao wave couldn't prevent him from feeling sad. His mind flashed across Ningxi's desperate plea, "Emperor Feng Master, please leave my baby here." Then Ningxi rolled up the stairs while still protecting him in his arms. When he came to the cultivation realm, Zhou Mother still used all her cultivation level to chase over. Who would do this selflessly other than mothers? Emo didn't even know his face was covered in tears. At this moment he couldn't stand up. He knelt to the ground. "Zhou Mother, I came to see you. Are you really my baby? You're still alive." There was this unhealthy redness on her face. She rushed to Emo and hugged Emo while saying shakily, "Baby, you're really my baby. I'm baby." Emo suddenly realized. Ningxi didn't know he was called Emo in this life at all. She recognized him purely based on instinct. "Great that you're still alive." Ningxi didn't even hear clearly what Emo said his name was. She was just immersed in the excitement. As an immortal, she had been cultivating her entire life. When she reached Great Eternity Immortal, she knew she reached her limit. Then, she saw Emo's mother who escaped to Fengkong Grand Emperor Estate. Emo was taken care of by her. The maternal instinct was completely activated by Emo. Emo had been under her constant care almost every moment. Comparatively, Emo's real mother wasn't that close to Emo. When Emo grew up and her mother found Emo's spirit root was messy and couldn't cultivate, she gave Emo to her and left. Emo became her entire world. From the beginning to the end, she thought of Emo's as her own child. Because of this, when Emo was ordered to be sent into the cultivation realm, she tried all means to follow into the cultivation realm despite losing lifespan. Feeling the withered chi on Ningxi, Emo pulled out some life force from the chaos tree and fused them onto Ningxi. At this moment, Ningxi woke up from her initial excitement and joy. She immediately felt the change on her body. Her looks became young in an instant. Not only so, her cultivation level started to recover. It went all the way to Great Eternity Immortal Peak before stopping. With this, her lifespan went back to her. When Ningxi immediately knew what happened. "You gave me chaos life force?" When Ningxi looked at Emo in shock, she felt a deep fear now instead. How could her baby have chaos life force? It said that the purest chaos life force came from the chaos tree. Regardless if baby had this, he would die if news spilled out. Emo felt this deep worry from when Ningxi. He was touched at how much Zhou Mother loved her. "Zhou Mother, don't worry about me. I have chaos life force, but no one can take it." Emo comforted. Ningxi quickly stopped Emo from talking and pulled Emo inside the house. Then she set up a few restrictions before saying, "Baby, do you know how many people want chaos life force? All immortals want it. Do you know how many powerful beings there are in the immortal realm? Even immortal emperors aren't at the peak. There are still Tao Vindication divine emperors. When Ningxi suddenly stopped, she found her cultivation level had recovered, but she didn't feel the pressure of the world law. What was going on? Why do I feel no suppression? She suddenly realized. Emo quickly let Wen Ningxi sit down and told her his story. The entire day, Wen Ningxi sometimes stood up nervously, sometimes breathed easy. After hearing all this, she still asked in disbelief, "Baby, you were thrown down by the Feng Emperor to rebirth for a second time? You went to the immortal realm and fought with Emperor Feng? There's a realm above the immortal realm? You're saying Tao Vindication is just the start of Tao." As she spoke, she couldn't resist standing up again. "Baby, you're not a cultivator? By the way, why can't I see your cultivation level?" Emo quickly explained, Tao Vindication is just the beginning of learning world laws. Tao Vindication first step is split into Tao Molding, Tao Nourishment and Tao Actualization. After Tao Actualization peak stage, if you have enough talent and fortune you can reach second step Tao Essence. Tao Essence is divided into primary stage, middle stage, tertiary stage. After Tao Essence peak stage, you have the chance of entering third step Tao Vindication Primordial Essence. In the endless void, there are very few Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. There might not even be more than 10. Emo guessed that if he didn't kill 5 Primordial Essence Divine Emperors in one go, there would be 10 Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. But now it was uncertain. When Ningxi was a great Eternity Immortal, but she had never come in contact with Tao Vindication level. She always thought that Immortal Emperor Tao Vindication was the extreme, but Emo opened a new door for her. "How would you know all this?" After a long while, when Ningxi asked in a daze. "Zhou Mother, it's because I'm already a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. So even if I expose Chaos Life Force, there won't be any danger." Emo answered. When Ningxi realized that Emo had stood at the peak now. "I can stand here because, yes, I changed the world laws here. You will be unaffected." When Ningxi had been in the cultivation realm for too long, she was finally certain that what Emo said was true. She was so excited she couldn't speak a word. In her eyes, Emperor Feng was the strongest in the immortal realm, but her baby could fight with him and now even reached primordial essence. Just how amazing was this? Emo sat quietly with Wen Ningxi like this. After a long while, Wen Ningxi still said worriedly, "Baby, even though you're primordial essence, you must remember to not reveal you have chaos life force so easily. There are countless powerful beings in the universe. Who knows if you will see them?" Then she breathed easy. "You mum definitely will be very happy if she knew you can cultivate and vindicated Tao." Emo guessed some things but still asked, "Zhou Mother, do you know what my mother is called?" Hearing this, Wen Ningxi seemed to begin reminiscing the past. After a long while, she said, "Your mother is called Ruan Jun. Wasn't Ruan Ju the immortal goddess sacred sect Saint Ruan Ruatio's daughter?" Ruan Ruatio was her grandmother. No wonder he felt sad seeing those bones. At this moment, Emo wanted to charge into immortal goddess sacred sect and turn them to dust. But he held his fury. The people in immortal goddess sacred sect now had nothing to do with his grandmother. Plus, even his grandmother probably didn't want him to destroy the immortal goddess sacred sect. When Ningxi sighed, "I believe your bother probably went to find immortal spirit items to change your spirit root. She's had the hardest life. She definitely went to the most dangerous place so she couldn't take you. After she knew you couldn't cultivate, she purposely didn't care about you, so that Emperor Feng wouldn't get angry at you." Hearing this, Emo was struck. He had always thought his mother abandoned him because his talent was bad. To a mother, abandoning him was the saddest decision. After knowing he was abandoned a few times, Emo was never sad, nor did he care about who abandoned him. Only this time, the sadness in his heart was uncontrollable. At this moment, he cared about his mother so much. Emo thought about how his grandmother used all her life force to protect her mother, and how her mother went out alone to find things so he could cultivate. At this moment, his eyes went wet again. His mother went out for this long and never came back. How could it be good? At this moment, space near Emo started to crumble. His Dao law was too powerful and the world law of the cultivation realm was too low. It couldn't handle his sadness. Baby, don't worry. Your mother will definitely come back. When Ningxi felt Emo's powerful sorrow and quickly wiped his tears and clutched his hand tightly. At the same time, she realized what Emo said was all true. Just from how Emo's Dao waves moved, it was enough to collapse space here. Just what power was this? Emo regained his senses and forced down his sorrow. He waved his hand and repaired the broken space law. At the next moment, his spirit sense pierced countless realms and searched the entire cosmos. Other than some realms that his spirit sense couldn't penetrate and those realms protected by formations, his spirit sense didn't find his mother. Even Emo couldn't handle doing this for an extended period of time. His sea of consciousness ached and his face went pale. Baby, what happened to you? When Ningxi quickly used her immortal essence to help Emo took back his spirit sense tiredly. He shook his head and said coarsely, I'm fine, Mother Zhou. Why are you here? The spirit chi here is so arid. Your mother left me a top realm breaking rune. After Emperor Feng sent you to rebirth in the cultivation realm, I burned my life to activate it. Although I knew you were on Luo Yu continent East Black State, but I didn't know exactly where you were. I didn't have cultivation level, but I knew I could find you. I've been searching for you ever since. I believed that if I found you, I would be able to recognize you even though you reincarnated. Emo clutched when Ningxi's hands even tighter. He hated himself for not knowing this earlier. If he did, Mother Zhou wouldn't have to suffer this much. Luckily he reached Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. Otherwise, even if Mother Zhou died like that, he wouldn't know there were people searching for him in East Black State. Feeling Emo's guilt, when Ningxi grabbed Emo's hand and said, I've lost my cultivation level and I wasn't able to find you after all these years. That year, I saw two women who were also finding people but weren't able to. We lived together at Zhonglian Peak. When Ningxi sighed, compared to them, I'm much more fortunate. At least I found you. When Ningxi seemed to have suddenly thought of something and looked at Emo, baby, what did you say your name was? Mother Zhou. I'm Emo. Emo quickly answered. Emo? Mother Zhou frowned and said, those two women living with me seem to be looking for Emo. Hearing this, Emo dazed and desperately asked, Mother Zhou, what were they called? Feeling Emo's desperation, when Ningxi quickly said, one was called Yun Bing and another was called Yin Qin Yen. Emo was completely dazed. It was Yun Bing and Sister Yen. How could they be in East Black State? When he came to find Qi Wanqing in East Black State, he didn't see them. Emo dazed for a moment and grabbed when Ningxi's hands asking excitedly, Mother Zhou, where's Sister Yen and Yun Bing? Yin Qin Yen's grave. Yun Bing's grave. Emo stood numbly before the two graves and was silent. Yun Bing's look flashed before him. Sister Yan's face flashed before him. When he went back to Earth, he thought Sister Yen no longer existed. He didn't expect that she actually was and came to the cultivation realm. Emo took out Sister Yan's diary. When he saw Sister Yen for the second time, he didn't intend to open it. Now he touched the diary softly. He slowly sat down and took out 2 wine cups. He poured a cup each for the 2 graves before pouring a cup for himself. He raised the cup and really wanted to say something, but in the end, he couldn't even say a single word. He could only drink the entire cup. Emo took out a blue note and a photo frame. On the frame was Yun Bing and Tingting. This was what Emo found in Ninghai Yun Bing's house when he returned to Earth after Truth Realization State. If you came and still remember Tingting and you can see this letter. Yun Bing. When I was born, you weren't born. When you were born, I'm already old. I hate how we couldn't be born at the same time and stay together happily. Emo clutched the letter and murmured, Sister Yen, I hope we can meet in the next life. Yun Bing. I will find Tingting and take her to MOU Immortal Sect. Seeing Emo so sad, when Ningxi immediately knew that the 2 women who had lived with her for a long time were close to her baby. Baby, Yun Bing and Qin Yen weren't able to find you, but I believe that even if they went into samsara, they could feel you searching for them. Don't get too sad. When cultivators get sad, it hurts their Dao. You've been too sad today. When Ningxi said worriedly, Emo breathed slowly. His eyes were still misty as he touched the two cold epitaphs. Sister Yen. Yun Bing. I will take you to where I live. I will visit you often. Mother Zhou. How did Sister Yen and Yun Bing come here? How long have they been gone? Emo asked. When Ningxi felt Emo's emotions and grabbed his hand trying to calm him down. I'm fine, tell me Mother Zhou. Emo said. When Ningxi nodded, Yun Bing and Qin Yen came from a place called Earth onto an island of East Black State. They knew each other on the island and they went through a lot of hardship to reach Golden Core State. Then, they came to East Black State to find, probably you. After a few hundred years, they reached Nascent Soul and still weren't able to find you. Their talent wasn't bad, but without cultivation resources, they stopped at Nascent Soul. 300 years ago, when their lifespan was near its end, they found Zhang Lian Peak. We were all finding people and we knew each other. They've been staying here until passing away 100 years ago. I'm the only one remaining and heaven pitted me to let me see you. However, ever since those two came here, they were never happy. My cultivation level was gone and I couldn't help them. Emo suddenly felt regret. He should have gone back to check Luo Yu continent first. But then, if he did, he would find these two. But what about Qi Wanqing? When he found Qi Wanqing, her soul was nearly completely crippled. The majority of life was a displeasure. After sitting for a long while, Emo got up and said, Mother Zhou, come with me. I'm going to take you back to the immortal realm. Emo said again before when Ningxi asked, Mother Zhou, don't worry. I have Chaos World. I can tear open any realm. No world law can bind me. Chaos World. When Ningxi was shocked again. This was something more insane than the Chaos Life Force. Emo moved Yun Bing and Sister Yan's grave into the Golden Page World, and then took Wen Ningxi to his Golden Page World. Emo started to set up Yun Bing and Sister Yan's home. Even if it was a grave, he would make it the prettiest garden. Perhaps one day he would be able to see the reincarnated them. An endless world appeared before Wen Ningxi. Endless life force, endless lush green, endless land. Seeing this grand world, Wen Ningxi immediately knew this was a real chaos world. Not some small world or truth spirit world. Baby, if your mother knew how much you have achieved, how happy would she be? When Ningxi suddenly felt that her hardship all these years were nothing, seeing how much her baby accomplished. When she saw Emo standing before the two graves, when Ningxi suddenly thought of something and went to Emo, giving him a jade slip. Baby, your mother left you this before she left. Emo scanned his spirit sense in, and a clear print came into his mind. Baby, mother didn't abandon you. Mother went to find clear spirit heart lotus for you. When mother finds it for you, you can begin cultivation. When you master a great god art, mother will take you to find grandmother. Your grandmother is too kind-hearted and won't let mother annihilate immortal goddess sacred sect. When mother isn't with you, Ningxi is your mother too. You must wait till mother comes back. Don't run around. Emo took the jade slip. He knew his mother was just saying. Even if grandmother allowed her to annihilate immortal goddess sacred sect, she wouldn't be able to do that. If she really could, she wouldn't leave him at the Feng Emperor estate. After a long sigh, Emo felt very sad. He had lived 3 lifetimes. He didn't know who his mother on Luo Yu was. His mother on Earth died early. He knew only she was called Inchinchin. He only knew the name of his father Yi Kai. The only person whom he had a direct impression of was Ruan Jun. Emo took out 2 bracelets and placed it before Sister Yan's grave. Then, he took out top materials and made 2 epitaphs. Sister Yen Qinyan's grave. Yun Bing's grave. Emo had this indescribable feeling towards Yun Bing. When Ningxi watched as Emo did this, she could feel the sadness in Emo's heart. Mother Zhou, I want to go to the nether realm and see if Yun Bing and Sister Yan's souls are still there. So, I want to ask you to help me. After standing for a long time, Emo suddenly asked. When Ningxi brushed Emo's messy hair and said lovingly, Baby, just tell Mother Zhou. Emo took out a blue bead and gave it to Wen Ningxi. Mother Zhou. This is a truth spirit world. You can have it. Spirit control the world. There's some cultivation resources inside. I believe it's not impossible for Mother Zhou to vindicate Tao. when Ningxi had never wanted to get anything from Yemo. Seeing this, she quickly pushed it back to Yemo. Baby, you have a lot of things. Just give some cultivation resources to Mother Zhou. Keep this truth spirit world. You have chaos world. Leave this to your Tao partner. Yemo pushed the truth spirit world into Wen Ningxi's hands and said, Mother Zhou, I have more than one of these. Keep it. And this Yemo put a storage ring on for Wen Ningxi. Yemo said, this isn't a storage ring. It's a world law storage ring I made. If you stay in the cultivation realm without this storage ring, you won't be allowed by the world law. Baby, I already found you. If you're going to the immortal realm, I will be going with you. Why would I stay in the cultivation realm? When Ningxi asked in confusion, Yemo quickly said, Mother Zhou, you know that I build a MOU city in South Peace State. There are still some friends and kin of mine there. I want to ask Mother Zhou to take them. After you spirit control the truth spirit world, take them inside and then activate the storage ring. It will take you back to the immortal realm. Hearing this, when Ningxi sighed, baby, don't worry. I will definitely take your friends and family to MOU Immortal Sect. Don't be sad. Go do what you need to do. I will do well what you asked me. When Ningxi knew that Yemo's character in this lifetime was very different to her baby before, this current one valued emotions more. When Ningxi was only happy about this, Yemo cast these thoughts aside and said, in MOU City, there are Ning Siswang, Mu and Guiqi, Li Sandao and them and people who followed me before. If they want to go to the immortal realm, take them to MOU Immortal Sect. I can do all this. When are you going back yourself? When Ningxi asked, Yemo said, after I'm done with things at the nether realm, I will return to MOU Immortal Sect. Tell my wives for them to not worry about me. I will be back soon. Yemo was going to the nether realm, 1 to find Yunbing and Sister Yen, and 2 to see if he could take away World Mountain. He knew it was very hard to spirit control World Mountain, but with his current power, he could try taking it away by force. After doing these things, he would stay with Luo Ying and them forever. He really didn't want to go around everywhere anymore. So what if his power was high? 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years would pass in an instant. He was primordial essence divine emperor, but what about his wives? What about the other people around him? Time was heartless, washing everything away. Even though he was primordial essence divine emperor, he couldn't see through this. Plus, even though he reached primordial essence, he couldn't tell if he was eternal. Seeing Yemo easily cross void realms, when Ningxi was full of joy. She didn't ask Yemo to find his mother Wan Jun, but she knew Yemo definitely would. This was Yemo's second time coming to the nether realm. Yemo was primordial essence and powerful. He would annihilate a realm in the wave of a hand. At this moment, he scanned his spirit sense out and the entire nether realm fell under his spirit sense. Even so, Yemo could still feel the nether realm was boundless. His spirit sense could cross tens of realms without resistance, but when his spirit sense scanned to the border of the nether realm, it was only shrouded in gray mist and chaos. Yemo didn't care about it. He landed before the Samsara bridge again. At this moment, the Samsara chi on it cleared up. However, even now, Yemo couldn't see clearly the source of the Samsara. Tao was endless indeed. Although Yemo stood at the peak of this cosmic void, it didn't mean he understood the entire universe. Yemo didn't have any Tao waves on him. He had become one with the Samsara bridge or the entire realm. He expanded his spirit sense out and brushed past countless souls. This time, he scanned across almost the entire nether realm. Old man Kongyi? Yun Zi. Yemo saw 2 familiar souls. He immediately wanted to take those 2 away. Just when this thought arose, a grand and terrifying pressure pressed down from the nether realm. The next moment, Yemo felt his spirit sense being severed off. That powerful pressure smashed into his sea of consciousness. Even Yemo's powerful sea of consciousness couldn't take it. He spat a mouthful of blood and his divine body was making cracking sounds. A world law Tao wave smashed above Yemo's head. Yemo forcefully released Zisu. Even though Zisu could break open the void here, it was smashed away by this powerful Tao wave. Yemo was extremely shocked. He was primordial essence power, but he was suppressed here. In his fury, Yemo was about to release Samsara God Art and change the laws of Samsara Bridge. Waves of world law chi struck down, making Yemo clearly feel that he was messing with things he shouldn't have. Life, death, and samsara was the world law of the nether realm. No one could intervene. The first time, he only scanned his spirit sense in a region. The nether realm let him take Qi Wanqing on the account that he had a chaos world. This time, he scanned the entire nether realm and was going to intervene in the samsara of souls. This was overstepping the boundary, and he was suppressed by the nether realm. Feeling this message, Yemo was furious. He smashed out 9 great primordial god runes and released Heaven Flame 9 Suns. As though feeling Yemo's dominance, the realm pressure of the nether realm grew more terrifying. There were even lightning sounds mixed inside. The realm became extremely tough. Even Yemo couldn't touch it. The great primordial god rune and nether realm laws smashed together. The entire realm was cracking. It was as though the nether realm was about to collapse. The nether realm space was making cracking sounds, but it was still sturdy. The 9 great primordial god runes created 9 distinctively distorted waves that were instantly fixed. Yemo's feeling was that the pressure of this world instantly increased again. Even though he was primordial essence divine emperor, he couldn't stand up from this powerful suppression. Rumble? Yemo punched at the void realm, suppressing him. The void realm before him instantly started to crumble. Large black holes started appearing and countless souls were swept in. Yemo was shocked. Although he was annoyed at the world law suppression, he didn't plan to throw these souls into the black hole. When Yemo opened the black hole, Yemo felt the anger of the entire nether realm. Even more powerful suppression came. Yemo sighed and put away Heaven Flame 9 Suns. If he really released Heaven Flame 9 Suns here, probably less than 10% of the souls would survive. Thud! An extremely powerful samsara law power struck on Yemo combined with the world pressure of the nether realm. Yemo was smashed out of the nether realm. Yemo landed next to a long river. His face was bad. He knew he was no longer in the nether realm but the abyssal realm. The nether realm law seemed to know it was impossible to kill Yemo, so it kicked Yemo away. Yemo grabbed at the void. He found the realm that he could easily tear before wasn't torn open. Just when Yemo wanted to release Zissou, he felt the nearby space wave and quickly put away Zissou. Then, he saluted with his fists, so it's immortal friend Len. Then, a figure landed next to Yemo. How is immortal friend ye here? This person was primordial essence divine emperor Len Shuachi. He sensed the world laws of the abyssal realm change, so he came to check. He didn't have much friendship with Yemo but neither much conflict. He rejoiced he had no conflict with Yemo. He knew about Zhuge Jichin, Pu Yangxi and 4 primordial essence divine emperors searching for Yemo. Tang Tsongyi knew about this too. Now, Yemo appeared but the primordial essence divine emperors searching for him were completely gone. From this, one could see how terrifying Yemo was. Because of this, when Yemo appeared with murderous chi in the abyssal realm, Len Shuachi spoke extremely politely. I went to find the souls of a few friends in the abyssal realm, but I was suppressed by world law and sent here. I'll borrow immortal friend Len's land to rest for a while, and I'll continue back my way into the nether realm. Seeing Len Shuachi being so polite, Yemo answered politely too. Hearing this, Len Shuachi looked at Yemo in shock for a long time before asking in disbelief, Immortal friend ye, you're saying you were just suppressed for taking away souls at the nether realm? Not. Before Len Shuachi finished, Yemo knew what he meant and asked with slight discomfort, Immortal friend Len, you meant to say why I didn't die? Yemo was already annoyed being suppressed. The nether realm world law was powerful but not enough for him to die. Len Shuachi quickly said, Immortal friend ye, you misunderstand me. You might not know very clearly the terror of the nether realm. It seems like a low-level realm, but once the world law of the nether realm is activated, even primordial essence peak stage divine emperor can't leave the nether realm. He would be suppressed until he dies. To be able to break open the realm under suppression has never happened before. Oh? Immortal friend Len, what is this? Yemo asked with a frown. He also felt that the nether realm wasn't as simple as he had thought. He thought of what Zhongli Huiyin said. He said that it was Heaven Tao controlling Samsara Bridge. They were nothing to the nether realm. It really did seem so now. Emo sighed. When he reached primordial essence, he thought that even world law wouldn't be able to suppress him. Now, it seemed like a fantasy. The Heaven Tao knew he had Chaos World and could kick him out of the nether realm. The nether realm is different to other realms. It's a stand-alone realm. You can take away souls from the nether realm, but you can't scan the entire nether realm with spirit sense and then take away whomever you liked. If that was so, all-powerful beings could take away whatever soul they needed in the nether realm. Len Shuachi said seriously. Emo asked in confusion, Immortal friend Len. Last time I saw you and Immortal friend Jiao Dan. I wasn't primordial essence yet, but I took away someone I knew. I also saw cultivators collecting souls in the nether realm. Len Shuachi only realized now that last time, Emo didn't truly reach primordial essence and was really a Tao essence divine emperor. Thinking about how terrifying Emo was when he was only Tao essence divine emperor, he realized why Emo wasn't suppressed by the nether realm after he reached primordial essence. Len Shuachi didn't want to offend Emo even more now, so he answered, it's ghost cultivators who go to the nether realm to capture souls, and they can't be too strong nor get close to the Samsara Bridge. I don't know how you took away a soul and was fine, but at that time, you couldn't scan your spirit sense over the entire nether realm, right? Perhaps that was the reason. Of course, it might be that the soul you took was far from the Samsara Bridge. Emo frowned. He took away Qi Wanqing from the border of the Samsara Bridge. Emo suddenly thought of the message he got when he fought against Nether Realm Heaven Tao. Last time, the Nether Realm Heaven Tao let him take Qi Wanqing because he had Chaos World. This Heaven Tao even knew he had Chaos World. It was indeed not something simple. Regardless, he was going to go back again and find Yun Bing, Sister Yen, and Kong Yi. Immortal friend Len, I'm going to use your abyssal realm to tear open to Nether Realm. Emo released Zisu and said. Len Shuachi's face changed and he immediately said, Immortal friend Yi, I don't mind you using my abyssal realm, but it's best you don't break open the Nether Realm again. At least not in this century. Why? Emo asked. Once the Nether Realm Heaven Tao is activated, it will seal the realm for a samsara. During this samsara, you wouldn't be able to tear open the Nether Realm Heaven Tao domain no matter how strong you are. If you force the realm open, it will cause backlash. The stronger you are, the stronger the backlash. There's only a sliver of chance if you turn into a soul. A samsara? Emo dazed. That was 100 years. Even if he came back here 100 years later and the two were fine, how was he going to take the world mountain? One samsara is too long. I'll try first. Emo then smashed out Zisu, Sword God Art, Shatter Space. This was the first time Emo used a God Art to break open Void Realm after reaching Primordial Essence. Seeing Emo ignore his persuasion, Len Shuachi sighed and moved to the side. He was certain that Emo wouldn't be able to open the realm. If the Nether Realm could be opened after sealing, the Nether Realm wouldn't be able to exist for this long. A heaven-shattering purple mark appeared in the void. There was nothing before the mark, but it was stopped. Extremely powerful Tao waves clashed with the purple mark. Zisu smashed out. Laws were broken, the void was covered in broken law Tao marks. Waves of God Art Law was pushed away by the great Tao wave in the void and backlashed completely. Emo was struck by the powerful backlash. His sea of consciousness rumbled in an explosion, and at the same time, Emo was smashed away a few thousand kilometers. He crushed entire mountains in abyssal realm. Emo wiped the blood from his mouth. The chaos tree was repairing his cracked foundation. Such terrifying realm barrier. He realized if the Nether Realm was going to be like this for 100 years, he definitely wouldn't be able to break open it, not at least for 100 years. He thought that no one could stop in this vast universe after reaching primordial essence. But now, the Nether Realm was like this impassable ravine before him. There was no limit to Tao indeed. Immortal friend Len, is there any other ways of entering the abyssal realm? Emo asked. Len Shuachi shook his head. Immortal friend Yi, you wouldn't be able to go in. Even if you do, it's useless, as before the Nether Realm seals, all the souls would be taken into samsara. You're saying the people I'm looking for went into samsara early due to me? Emo suddenly felt powerless. Len Shuachi looked at Emo sympathetically. Not only the people you're looking for, but all the souls in the nether realms that can enter samsara would go into samsara. Emo didn't keep trying to tear open the nether realm barrier. Samsara was heaven Tao. Life and death was a part of natural order. He shouldn't intervene in this. If there was no samsara, this world would be in chaos. Duanmu Yuebwa wanted to open a samsara path from divine Tao realm to nether realm just so immortals from the divine Tao realm can enter samsara after death. Realizing this, Emo suddenly felt easy. He believed that one day he would be able to see Sister Yen and Yunbing again. He would be able to see the friends that were gone. Perhaps they might not remember him nor recognize him, but so what? Realizing this, Emo's mind opened up and the world became clearer to him. Those injuries instantly disappeared and his Tao waves became more perfect. Len Shuachi could clearly see this, and he smiled and saluted with his fists. Congratulations on getting stronger, immortal friend Yi. Emo smiled, immortal friend Len. Thank you for giving me the reminder. Otherwise, I would still be attacking the nether realm barrier. Such a simple reasoning, but I couldn't see through it. I'm ashamed. Len Shuachi said some polite things before suddenly saying, Immortal friend Yi, since you're already at my abyssal race, why not come have a seat at my cultivation home, and we can discuss some cultivation experience? Emo was desperate to see Luo Ying and them. He had no mood to sit in the abyssal race, but he wanted to have good relations with Len Shuachi. I was planning to visit immortal friend Len, and it's perfect that I encountered you here. Before, I encountered Beast Race Fan Gao. He said he would come visit me at the Divine Tao realm 100 years later. I believe the Demon Race, Dragon Race, and Aquarius Race would go too. Would immortal friend Len have the time to be a guest at my Divine Tao realm 100 years later? Emo said. He didn't expect Len Shuachi to help Divine Tao realm, but he couldn't let Len Shuachi be on the opposing side. Hearing this, Len Shuachi saluted with his fists seriously, immortal friend Yi. Although we don't have deep connections, we don't have any enmity. I approve of immortal friend Ye's character and pill concoction skills. The abyssal race wants to friends with immortal friend Yi. However, the power of the beast race, demon race, and dragon race are too powerful. The Aquarius don't overtly have a primordial essence divine emperor, but their subtle powers aren't weak. The abyssal race only has me and many abyssal race people. Fan Gao came to be before wanting me to join the attack on Divine Tao realm, but I rejected. I will definitely go to the Divine Tao realm 100 years later, but I can't help immortal friend Yi. I won't be standing on their side too. I will only go as a neutral party. Please forgive me, immortal friend Yi. Emo laughed and said pridefully, I'm very grateful that immortal friend Yi can stay neutral. As for the 4 races joining up, it's no threat to me. Okay. I need to tell immortal friend Yi. Fan Gao might visit Phoenix Race and Guang Yuan Palace and even Jiaodan Monk. Immortal friend Yi is unparalleled in power, but you still need to be careful. If things are too hard, why not leave? There will always be an opportunity in the future. Len Shuachi knew Emo was strong but didn't look favorably of him. There were this many primordial essence divine emperors heading towards the Divine Tao realm. No matter how strong Divine Tao realm was, there was only Emo as primordial essence divine emperor. Thank you for your goodwill, immortal friend Len. Emo will leave now. See you in 100 years. Emo saluted with his fists. Seeing Emo leave, Len Shuachi sighed. He felt with time Emo would dominate the entire universe. Emo didn't go to the immortal realm. His spirit sense saw Mother Zhou taking the MOU city people but didn't head to the immortal realm. Instead, they were stopped by 2 people at Heartless Sea. Emo knew one of them. You're a mere great eternity immortal, but you can come to the cultivation realm and not be suppressed by the world law. Who are you? Did you enter the Heartless Sea corner? A skinny but extremely handsome man stared at Wenningsi and asked seriously. Wenningsi was extremely shocked. She was a great eternity immortal, but she felt it was extremely difficult to move in his domain. Who Mother Zhou is none of your business. I've been inside the sea corner and I took some corner soul weed. If you're that powerful, come at me. A sneer sounded. A figure landed next to Wenningsi. That powerful realm pressure disappeared instantly. Wenningsi looked over and immediately breathed easy. It's you? Pill Divine Yi? That ordinary-looking man asked. Emo said calmly, Ju Wuheng. This is probably your dad Juya, right? Your dad really isn't something? If I knew this earlier, I wouldn't have given you the spot to the Dao Fruit Tower. Emo was very unhappy with Juya. He gave a spot to Ju Wuheng to enter the Dao Fruit Tower. Ju Wuheng reached Dao Essence and saved Juya. That Juya didn't do anything in the divine Dao realm and threatened Mother Zhou. Humph, how dare you? Do you think you're very strong becoming primordial essence? How dare you talk to me like this? Juya's face sunk. He was extremely shocked that Emo was primordial essence, but he wasn't going to tolerate Emo talking to him like this. Emo ignored Juya and said to Ningxi Mother Zhou, Go back to MOU Immortal sect and tell Luoying and them to not worry about me. I'll come soon. Okay, be careful. When Ningxi said worriedly, she knew she couldn't do anything here and would affect Emo instead. Seeing when Ningxi activate the ring and enter the immortal realm, Juya frowned. Even he might not be able to make such ring. A great mastery of all sorts of laws was needed. After when Ningxi left, Emo grabbed at the Heartless Sea. The hidden sea corner was grabbed out immediately. The countless corner soul we'd shot out like asteroids disappearing into the endless Heartless Sea. Juya just reacted and his fury shot up. He hacked at Emo with this blue light. A weak realm like Luo Yu immediately wobbled under this. Only Primordial Essence Divine Emperor could find Cultivation realms easily and tear open the space, but never would a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor damage a Cultivation realm or fight there. Juya as a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor fought at Luo Yu continent. This was breaking the code between Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. One could imagine that once he hacked out this blue light, the entire Luo Yu continent would disappear. At this moment, the countless cultivators of Luo Yu Cultivation realm felt the entire continent wobble. They felt the world law was about to be broken and the entire continent would be crushed. All cultivators rushed out worriedly. Seeing Juya attack like this, Emo was furious. At the same time Juya attacked, Emo released countless formation flags and stabilized the space here. Otherwise, just by their force would this continent turn to dust. Emo didn't even dare to counterattack. He could only take this hit by force and seal this place as quickly as possible. Rumble. That blue light struck on Yemo's chest. Yemo's clothes was torn open and blood flew out. Even Yemo's chest bones were hurt. But Emo sealed this place quickly. Luo Yu continent finally stabilized. Those cultivators who didn't know what happened could only regard it as heaven's power. Father, this is Cultivation realm, Ju Wuheng called. Juya noticed that his Immortal Slayer beam didn't cut Emo in half. You're a divine body. No wonder you have such courage. I'm going to see if your god art is as powerful as your courage. Juya sneered and this time, more than 10 blue lights appeared. Emo released Zisu and sliced across a twisted sword rune in the void. He sneered, You have no chance anymore. When the powerful realm domain crushed over, Juya could only feel his realm domain break everywhere. The laws of his Immortal Slayer beam was chaotic under Yemo's realm domain. It no longer had that terrifying lethal force. More than 10 blue beams clashed with the twisted sword rune. There was only a short desperate explosion and the Slayer beams were torn apart by the falling mark sword rune. Juya was extremely shocked. Only now did he realize the difference between him and Emo. He even suspected that Emo wasn't even Primordial Essence Divine Emperor but a being beyond Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. No Primordial Essence Divine Emperor would be able to suppress him this easily. However, he didn't know what the level beyond Primordial Essence Divine Emperor was. Crack! Falling Mark Sword Rune tore open Juya's realm domain and barrier and hacked open half his body. Blood splashed out. Juya's essence spirit charged out in shock. He looked shakily at Emo. He was shocked that there was a divine emperor as terrifying as Emo in the void. Just what cultivation level was this? He had seen countless powerful beings and even the most powerful being in the void, but no one was enough to stand up to Emo. At this moment, Ju Wuya finally woke up. He immediately knelt down. Yiqian Bei, Wan Bei, please you let my father go once. He knew it was impossible that he could stop Emo from killing his father. Emo wanted to annihilate Juya's soul, but looking at Ju Wuheng, he sighed. He approved of Zhu Wuheng. If he killed Juya, he would have to kill Zhu Wuheng. He didn't really want to do that. Plus, he smashed Juya's power back to Tao essence. Even if Juya recovered his body, he wouldn't be able to go back to primordial essence again. Seeing Emo stop, how could Zhu Wuheng not know that Emo let his father go? He quickly said, "Father, quickly recover your body." Qianbei agreed to let me go. He took blame for his father's wrongs. Juya woke up and quickly returned to his body. In just a few seconds Bi recovered his body. His face looked paler. He knew that his primordial essence foundation had been destroyed by Emo. Despite knowing this, Juya wasn't angry. He was a prideful person. He never thought he was weaker than anyone, but when he met Emo, he realized his pride was worthless. From what Emo showed, Emo would have no problem killing 10 of him. For the first time, the thought of him never being able to catch up to Emo grew. In that moment, countless scenes and past events flashed across his mind. Scenes of him being dominant, him being locked in the void by his love for countless years, and scenes of him being unreasonable. He realized that if Wuheng didn't beg, his soul would have been annihilated. "Thank you for showing mercy, Pill Divine Yi. Juya will remember this." Juya became humble. Emo sneered, "I did show mercy, but not on your account. I destroyed your primordial essence foundation. You are not allowed to go to any cultivation realm again. As for whether you remember, I don't care. You can come at me any time." Juya opened his mouth but eventually said nothing. He knew he was truly grateful to Emo for showing mercy. He realized that there were many things he didn't do when his essence spirit seeped out. When he was cut by the falling mark sword rune, he wanted to do those things. He wanted to find the person who locked him in the void and tell her that he was no longer primordial essence divine emperor. He understood what she said before and realized why she locked him there. Zhu Wuheng quickly went up. "Qianbei, my dad means it. It's not a provocation." Emo nodded. "Zhu Wuheng, I destroyed Juya's primordial essence foundation. I believe you understand why I did this." Wan Bei understands. Zhu Wuheng was Juya's only son. How could he not know his father's temper? He was someone who did whatever he wanted without any regard for the consequences. What Emo did might be a good thing. "I'll send you to the void." Emo tore open the void realm before him. Zhu Wuheng quickly said, "Thank you, Qianbei. Wan Bei will leave now." He knew that Emo meant divine Tao level void, not cultivation realm level void. Other primordial essence divine emperors might not be able to tear open a direct portal to divine Tao level void, but Emo definitely could. Emo's face eased up. He quite approved of Zhu Wuheng. Seeing Emo easily tear open the void with the lift of his hand, Juya sighed. His pride was nothing in front of Emo. Zhu Wuheng dragged Juya to bid Emo farewell. When Juya stood into the void, he turned back and said, "Pill Divine Yi, I imprisoned a green-robed man in the sea corner before. He's a primordial essence divine emperor too. When you see him, please say sorry for me." Emo shook his head. He thought of the green-robed guy who fought over the Chaos Tree Heart with him in the Void Marketplace. That guy was primordial essence divine emperor too. Emo wondered if Juya was talking about him. Gonghua Heaven Mou Immortal Sect. The sect doors were wide open. Countless sect members were waiting at the door for their sect leader Emo to come back. Luoying, Ning Qingxue, Su Jingguan, Song Yangzhu and them were standing next to Wen Ningxi. They seemed very nervous. Even Emo could only followed behind Ning Sishuang. Before Emo even came to Mou Immortal Sect, he saw many familiar faces. Su Yueha, Su Changji, Lin Weiben, Shirtai, Yiling, Tang Beiwei. At this moment, he suddenly felt he had a lot. He felt it was so right of him to pursue the strongest power. Without it, he wouldn't even be able to return to Mou Immortal Sect. He would have to watch the divine Tao realm being crushed again. Emo. Sect leader, dad, brother, master. Emo stood before Mou Immortal Sect, but at this moment, he realized that he didn't know what to say. He really wanted to say he was back, but his heart was so warmed that he couldn't speak. Emo. A soft and aromatic body ran into his arms. When he felt this body, Yimo shook. Luoying had always been able to control her emotions, but now, she couldn't. Yimo suddenly felt guilty. He should have come to see Luoying immediately. The MOU Immortal sect was organized so well, clearly due to her. When he wasn't there, only Luoying could calm everyone down and make everyone listen. Now, even Yi Ling was great eternity immortal. Meanwhile, Luoying with her talent was only great unity immortal. One could see how much she sacrificed. Sorry, Susu, I should have come back earlier. Yimo felt Luoying's hair and felt more guilty. Luoying calmed down now. Her face was a bit red. She was indeed hard-working. If it wasn't her, Yimo wouldn't be able to see all these people. You definitely had important things. It's good that you're finally back. In the future. Luoying tidied Yimo's clothes and said softly, "We won't be separated again. We will be together forever." Yimo grabbed Luoying's hand and said, at this moment, Ning Qingxue, Su Jingwen and Song Yangzhu were here. Even Yimo didn't go find Yimo now. Everyone knew this time should be left to them. Yimo returned and MOU Immortal sect became the most popular place. MOU Immortal sect was the most famous sect in the immortal realm despite being at the low heaven domain. These few days, the sects of the big immortal heavens all came to visit. The entire Gonghua heaven was popular. The happiest was Yimo. She got the real 36 lightning sea orbs and immediately went into solitary cultivation to spirit control them. Luoying, Ning Qingxue, Su Jingwen, Song Yangzhu and them finally reunited with Yimo and stuck together non-stop. Mu Xiaoyun and Qi Wanqing returned to the Golden Page world. They knew that Yimo had arrived at MOU Immortal sect and was overjoyed. They came to greet Luoying and them. This day, Yimo was chatting with people his experiences over the years. He saw Yiling seem quite dejected and asked, "Yiling, are you okay?" Yiling rubbed her red eyes. "I wonder if second brother is okay now. He was stupid before. I think he was just abused too hard and thus didn't think of consequences when he did things. Big brother, can you use spirit sense to find second brother?" Yimo sighed. He had a different perspective to Yiling. Yiling and Yi Zifeng were blood siblings, but Yi Zifeng wasn't related to him at all. After Yi Zifeng changed, he went more crazy. He saw with his own Yi Zifeng killing Nangong Fei with extreme cruel measures. Of course, Yi Zifeng wasn't to blame for this as Nangong Fei was cruel too. "Okay. I'll look for you." Yimo didn't want Yiling to be too disappointed. If there weren't special circumstances, Yimo didn't want to use his spirit sense to scan across the entire immortal realm as he would see many things he disliked. This immortal realm was far from as beautiful as it seemed. Darkness filled everywhere. "Dad, you need to help me find that 9-headed bug. I was almost eaten by that disgusting bug. I can't find it now, but if I did, I would have annihilated it already," Yimo said. This was the first time Yimo heard that Yimo was almost eaten by 9-headed bug, and he immediately asked, "Yimo, just what happened?" Yimo told him what happened when she just came to the immortal realm. "The 9-headed void-devouring bug is in the immortal realm? How many heads did it have?" Yimo's face immediately became serious. He knew the terror of the 9-headed void-devouring bug too well. Although he could annihilate it with the wave of a hand, it was a huge disaster for the immortal realm. It had 9 heads, but the color on its head was faint purple. "It might be golden now," Yimo said. Yimo immediately said to Yimo, "Yimo, although you're immortal emperor now, if you see that 9-headed void-devouring bug have golden crest, you must not fight. Golden-crested 9-headed void-devouring bugs has becoming the king of its race. You can't beat it." Yimo poked her tongue out. "I know. That's why I'm asking Dad for help. Did you see who saved you?" Although he knew that the gray-robed person didn't intentionally save his daughter, Yimo was still very grateful. Yimo waved out a gray figure. "I only saw his back. He was very fast." Yimo stared at this figure for a long while and said, "I know who it is. I actually benefited from him too despite him not doing it intentionally." Yimo's spirit sense scanned out. The person who helped Yimo was that middle-aged man in Ethereal Immortal Pond. He gave Yimo a star core flame and allowed Yimo to upgrade his flame. He wanted to use Yemo, but Yemo saw through his tricks and removed his spirit sense mark. Clearly, that person has recovered his cultivation level to be able to send the 9-headed void-devouring bug off. Yemo scanned his spirit sense out from low heaven domain to grand heaven domain. He didn't find the man nor Yi Zifeng, but he saw Li Kuan living with a man in an ordinary immortal city in Yu heaven. Yemo immediately knew that man was Feng Shi. Li Kuan's cultivation level didn't increase much, but she found the immortal material to rebuild Feng Shi's body. Yemo was happy for her. Yemo didn't go disturb her. He wished them well. He knew that if Li Kuan wanted to find him, she would just need to come to MOU Immortal Sect. Yemo didn't find the 9-headed void-devouring bug nor Lu Wuhu. Lu Wuhu had long ascended to the immortal realm, but there was no way he went to the divine Dao realm. Yemo was planning to find Lu Wuhu as he had a small piece of World Mountain. Dad, did you not find the 9-headed void-devouring bug? It's fine. Perhaps it got killed by that gray-robed man. Seeing Yemo frown, Yemo quickly said, the 9-headed void-devouring bug wouldn't be killed so easily, but I saw 2 people I know. Yiling, let's go see them. Yemo got up and said. Lin Yibin heard this and asked, Sect leader, did you find Yi Zifeng? Not Yi Zifeng, but related to him. Yibin, you can use your real name. If I'm not wrong, Chu Jiu is probably in the immortal realm. You will meet him one day, Yemo said. Lin Yibin got up and said, I've decided to find Ancestor Jiu first. If I can, then I will go back to Chu's surname. Yemo nodded. You know there's also a Chu Dan from your Chu family, right? When I came back, I seem to have seen her. Hearing this, Lin Yibin quickly said, Thank you, sect leader. Her talent is much better than mine. Chu Dan is in MOU Immortal Sect now. Yuan Lu Heaven was the number 1 middle heaven domain. Nuai Immortal City was the number 1 immortal city there, as the Dao Seeking Tower was there. In the number 1 immortal rest tower there, 2 women sat in a room. They seemed very calm, but they weren't. Nangong Xiaodai, we have no relations. Just tell me why you came to me, the blue-robed woman said. Hearing this, Nangong Xiaodai sighed. Chun Nana, I regret not listening to you. A person who can abandon his wife who supported him from the beginning can abandon others too. These 2 were Chung Nana and Nangong Xiaodai. They had the same fat. I thought you would scorn at me. Why don't you talk? Nangong Xiaodai looked at Chung Nana in confusion. Chung Nana said calmly, I have no relations to Yi Zifeng. But since Yi Zifeng didn't kill you, it means you still have some position in his heart. Nangong Xiaodai sneered, position? Before Nangong Xiaodai finished, she heard someone say at the door, May I come in for a sit? It's you. Nangong Xiaodai stared at Yemo and Yiling in shock. Brother Yi, Yiling, how are you guys here? Chung Nana stood up worriedly. She came to the middle heaven domain just to avoid the Yi family people, but she still encountered Yemo and Yiling. Nana, tell me where Zifeng went? Yiling asked desperately. Chung Nana looked down. I have no relations to him. I don't know where he went. Nangong Xiaodai said, My Nangong family completely fell in his hands. He came to the immortal realm earlier than me. When I found him, he was about abstruse immortal power. At that time, he was with Wuxia. He seemed to have a master. His master seemed very strong. Then, Nangong Xiaodai seemed to have realized something. Her depressed look suddenly disappeared. She bowed to Yemo and said, I wanted to ask Chung Nana some things before, but now I don't need to. Sect leader Yi, I'm going. Seeing her leave, Yemo said nothing. Then, Chung Nana bowed to Yemo. Brother Yi, Yiling, I'm going too. Brother, let's go back. Yiling felt extremely bad when she said this. She really didn't want her second brother to become like this. Both Nangong Xiaodai and Chung Nana were very nice women. Why did second brother have to be like this? Even though he had some hard times on Luoyu continent, all these years have passed. He had become an immortal now. Let's go. Yemo tore open space and instantly returned to MOU Immortal Sect. Yemo had always treated Yi Zifeng as his brother. However, ever since Yi Zifeng said to Nangong Fei that Yi Zifeng wanted to kill him not because of misunderstanding Chang Nana but that he had some secrets, Yemo already considered Yi Zifeng estranged. Wanting his secrets, simply put, was wanting his life. Emo didn't do anything wrong to Yi Zifeng, but he was so cruel. When Emo came back, he saw Li Xiu come over. Luo Ying and them were talking to Li Xiu. Seeing Emo come in, Li Xiu immediately got up. Immortal friend Yi. Emo already knew what she wanted to ask. He said, Big Palace Lord. Qing Ru has vindicated Dao. She's in the void marketplace wanting to find her own Dao through trial, so she didn't come back with me. Seeing Yi Mo's wives, Li Xiu sighed. She kept Qing Ru with Yi Mo wanting to let Qing Ru become Yi Mo's Dao partner. But it seemed to be wishful thinking. But she soon cast this aside and said, Immortal friend Yi. I heard Jingguan say that you wanted to repair the 33 heavens? Yi Mo nodded yes. I originally had this idea, but now I've changed my mind. I feel the 33 heavens is very suitable. It's no lesser than a compelled immortal realm. When Yi Mo came back from the nether realm, he felt that the immortal realm might not necessarily need to be repaired. Unlike the divine Dao realm would be destroyed if not repaired. Meanwhile, the 33 heavens of the immortal realm was very reasonable from low to high. The 33 heavens was more normal as it wasn't suitable for Dao vindication. Now that more than half the divine Dao realm has been repaired, Immortal Emperor Peak Stage can go to the divine Dao realm to vindicate Dao. If they stayed in the immortal realm and vindicated Dao, there would be too many divine emperors in the immortal realm. That way, the immortal realm might be broken to pieces again. Emo didn't want the immortal realm to have too many Dao molding divine emperors. Li Xiu agreed, I'm thinking the same. The 33 heavens is coherent with heaven Dao. It doesn't need repair. Li Xiu seemed nervous after a while. Emo knew she was worried about Qing Ru, so he took out a formation flag, Big Palace Lord. You can use this to come back from the divine Dao realm tunnel, but it can only be used once. I don't need this anymore. You can have it. Thank you, immortal friend Yi. Li Xiu didn't reject and thanked gratefully. She seemed much calmer after getting the formation flag. After a while longer, she got up and left. After sending her off, Emo called Luo Ying and them together and gave them a jade card which he made to each of them. Dad, what is this? Emo asked. Mu Xiaoyun smiled. This is a teleportation jade card to the Golden Page world. Wanqing and I were at the Divine Dao realm. We used this to get back to the Golden Page world and come to the MOU Immortal sect. There's only Shadowless and Small Ginseng who are fun inside. There's too little people. One might as well stay outside. Emo said, but she hung the jade card on her neck. Luoing knew Emo the most and she immediately asked, You're going to leave? Emo nodded. I need to go to the Phoenix race. You guys can come with me or find me in the Golden Page world through the jade card at any time. Just be careful. The cultivation resources here are abundant. We'll wait for you here. Luo Ying and them knew what Emo was doing at the Phoenix race. Emo went to get allies for the battle 100 Years Altar. But this time, they weren't very worried as they could return to Emo at any time. Emo traveled alone in the void with MOU boat. Even though his sea of consciousness could penetrate realms, every race's realm had powerful realm protection formation. Spirit sense couldn't penetrate it. He couldn't tear open space to get to the Phoenix race as that would be provocation instead of finding allies. Luckily, MOU boat was extremely fast under his control. In just a few short days, he was near the outskirts of the Phoenix race. When Emo just put away his boat outside the realm protection formation, people noticed him. An extremely ordinary-looking man with a red mark on his face saw Emo. He was only immortal emperor power. However, this person opened the formation without even asking Emo anything. May I ask if it's Pill Divine Yi Qianbei? The immortal emperor asked respectfully. You know me? Emo was certain he had never seen this immortal emperor before. This immortal emperor quickly said, Songyin Divine Emperor ordered me to wait for Yi Qianbei here. She said Yi Qianbei will be visiting our race soon. Emo wondered what decision she would take. To be honest, Emo hoped Tang Tsongyin would take a neutral side. He didn't expect them to help him, but he didn't want them to help the beast race. The Phoenix race was actually a branch of the beast race. The Phoenix race realm was no weaker than the dragon race. When Emo crossed the atmosphere with this immortal emperor, He immediately felt the powerful world law and dense God spirit chi. Yemo sighed. Compared to the Phoenix and Dragon race, the divine Tao realm was much weaker. Even though he used Chaos Tree and abstruse yellow chi to repair the life force of the divine Tao realm, the divine Tao realm still lacked a world meridian and couldn't gather God spirit chi. It would have to be 100 years later for him to get the world mountain as the nether realm sealed itself. Till divine Yi is quite late. I've been waiting for a long time. A crisp voice sounded and Tang Tsongyin appeared before Yemo. She wore red immortal robes. Yemo also saw Tang Xiaoyu and Tang Qi next to her. Tang Qi seemed very seductive. Yemo smiled and saluted with his fists. I came to disturb immortal friend Tang. I hope immortal friend Tang won't mind this guest. Tang Tsongyin laughed. Look at you. I can welcome you. Xiaoyu is your friend too and she's Tao actualization now. She's just one line from Tao essence. I've brought her over today. You should do something right. Yemo took out a jade bottle and gave it to Tang Xiaoyu saying, this cosmic Tao pill can be the gift for her to reach Tao essence. Hearing this, Tang Xiaoyu immediately looked happy. She quickly thanked Yemo. Seeing Yemo so generous, the Tao actualization divine emperors on the side all showed glances of envy. However, they knew that one cosmic Tao pill was already significant enough. Yemo wasn't going to give a second one no matter how generous he was. Tang Tsongyin just said casually and didn't expect Yemo to give something as precious as the cosmic Tao pill. Now that Yemo gave one without hesitation, she felt a little bad as she knew there was no way the Phoenix race could stand on Yemo's side. At most, they would be neutral. Pill Divine Yi, if you still didn't come I wasn't going to wait for you but luckily you came in time. We'll go together. Tang Tsongyin seemed more hospitable after Yemo gave the Tao pill. She walked side by side with Yemo. Yemo quickly moved away a little and asked, immortal friend Tang, where are we going? Tang Tsongyin patted her head and said, look at my memory. The demon race isn't close to you. Of course, they wouldn't give you the invitation. It's this. The demon race divine has finished solitary cultivation and reached primordial essence. The other races are going there to seek marriage, but they were all rejected by the demon race. The invitation is one to celebrate Saint reaching primordial essence, but second to choose a Tao partner for her. Yemo smiled. The Saint is primordial essence. Ordinary Tao essence divine emperors of other races wouldn't be considered. Beast race Zhuge Tianhua forcefully vindicated primordial essence in order to marry her, but even so, he was still rejected by the demon race. Zhuge Tianhua is ranked second on the divine rank. He's extremely talented. Even divine rank number 5, Dragon race Tao essence divine emperor Aoyu was also rejected. My Phoenix race was rejected too. Tang Tsongyin explained. Yemo sighed. I heard that each race only had 1 or 2 primordial essence divine emperor. How did the demon race get this saint? Zhuge Tianhua also reached primordial essence. Tang Tsongyin glanced at Yemo and said, in terms of primordial essence divine emperor quantity, which race could compare with the human race before? Even though the divine Tao realm is broken, there are still some human primordial essence divine emperors, but they just don't want to show up. This time, 4 primordial essence divine emperors disappeared finding you. These races have the power to quickly produce 1 primordial essence divine emperor. Yemo knew this. Every super race in the void couldn't just have 1 primordial essence divine emperor. Even if their primordial essence divine emperor died, they had the means to produce another one as quickly as possible. Without a primordial essence divine emperor, a race can never become a super race. The demon race rejected them because they found an equally talented person. This person has no background, so he's free to join the demon race. Although the demon race lost Pu Yangxi, they still have Yi Yuanzhou. Now, they have 2 more primordial essence divine emperors. Tang Tsongyin sighed. Then she added, Pill Divine Yi, your Tao wave is very calm. You look no different to an ordinary immortal. I believe you've become stronger? You're a Tao essence Pill Divine. If you ask to marry the saint, it might really work. That way, the conflict between you and the demon race. Yemo smiled. I have no interest in some demon. Tang Tsongyin laughed. Demon race saint isn't necessarily demon. I heard she comes from the human race. Human race, primordial essence, divine emperor went to be demon race saint? Emo asked in confusion. Tang Tsongyin said, this saint didn't come from divine Tao realm. She seemed to have come from the immortal realm. Plus, she reached primordial essence divine emperor, but it had nothing to do with the human race. Although her talent is absurd, she wouldn't be able to reach primordial essence divine emperor without the full support of the demon race. They even opened the Great Time Formation to support this saint. Great Time Formation? Is it a formation to speed up time? Emo thought of his time formation disk immediately. He really couldn't think of who made this formation disk. Even though he had mastery over time law, he still couldn't make such time formation disk. Tang Tsongyin nodded yes. The demon and beast race all have this, but its consumption is shocking. It can increase the time inside by tens of times, but the God spirit ranges used is immeasurable. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to afford it at all. Even a race might not be able to afford it. Emo was extremely shocked. He thought only he had time formation disk, but the other two races had it too. However, their time formation disk seemed different to his. His time formation disk used more spirit source as his cultivation level grew stronger, but it didn't use immeasurable God spirit ranges. From this, it was clear his time formation disk was higher level. Seeing Emo shocked, Tang Tsongyin explained, Zhuge Tianhua extremely loves the demon saint, so he joined up with the other races and made a suggestion, and that was to allow any race to propose to her, but through battles. Whoever was stronger could become the Tao partner of the saint. The races joined up, taking out cultivation resources that would entice even primordial essence divine emperor. The victor could not only marry the saint but also have these cultivation resources. This is why there are many guests heading to the demon race. Then, she smiled sweetly at Emo. If Pill Divine Yi joins, you might get a beautiful woman and countless cultivation resources. Now that the demon race invited the powerful beings of many races, they probably wouldn't do anything out of the line even if they have conflict with Pill Divine Yi. Emo thought he should probably go. This way, he could build momentum for the battle a century later while checking the power of the different races. Fan Gao said he would challenge the divine Tao realm, but he hadn't gone. This time, he would spill this to everyone. In the future, if he happened to attack the beast race or annihilate the Aquarius race, he would have an excuse. Okay, I'll go with immortal friend Tang. Emo made up his mind. Tang Tsongyin also expressed that the Phoenix race would stand neutral 100 years later. 3 days later, Emo and Tang Tsongyin left the Phoenix race heading to the demon race. The demon race was very popular right now, more popular than at Aoshi's primordial essence ceremony. While many of the guests came for the saint, more came for exchange and trades as well as networking. As soon as Tang Tsongyin's flying ship arrived outside the demon realm, a Tao Essence Peak Stage demon came to greet her. Emo's Tao wave was very subtle, and this Tao Essence Divine Emperor completely ignored Emo. After entering the demon realm, Emo's spirit sense scanned that the demon realm was no smaller than the divine Tao realm. The realm was stable and had dense God spirit chi, which contained dense demon wave chi. When he repaired the world meridian of the divine Tao realm would be no lesser than this realm at all. Welcome to the demon race, immortal friend Tang. It brings great honor to the demon race. Please, come to the guest palace. A white-robed dark-haired man walked out. His eyes were very bright. Emo could tell this was a primordial essence divine emperor. He didn't have any demon chi on him, unlike Pu Yangxi, who was covered in powerful demon wave. Emo knew this person was more terrifying than Pu Yangxi. Haha. Thank you for coming to greet me personally, Brother E. Tsongyin feels so honored. She didn't introduce Emo and instead smiled at Emo. Pill Divine Yi. This is Demon Race Primordial Essence Divine Emperor E Yuanzhou. His Demon Tao God arts are shocking. E Yuanzhou heard the words Pill Divine Yi come out of Tang Tsongyin's mouth and his eyes immediately lit up. He stared at Emo while very shocked. A primordial essence divine emperor was standing before him, and he didn't notice at all. So it's Pill Divine Ye's great arrival. Please forgive E for not realizing. This way, please, Pill Divine Yi. E Yuanzhou immediately acted very hospitable. Compared to Fan Gao, E Yuanzhou had much greater temperament. Pill Divine Yi, Yi Qianbei, Divine Emperor Tsongyi. When Yimo and Tang Tsongyin first entered the guest palace, there were plenty of people sitting inside already. Many people greeted Yimo as soon as they came in. Most of the people who greeted Yimo were those who went to Aoshi's primordial essence ceremony. They had seen Yimo's power. Yimo left easy under the gang up of a few primordial essence divine emperors. Plus, it said that the beast, Aquarius, dragon and demon race primordial essence divine emperors were looking for Yimo. Yimo appeared now, but those 4 primordial essence divine emperors were gone. Haha. Yimo, you come later than me every time. Zhao Dan saw Yimo come in and laughed. Compared to Len Shuachi, Zhao Dan was much more fervent towards Yimo. Tang Tsongyin's side. Sigh. Next time I won't walk with Pill Divine Yi. I'm a beautiful woman, but when walking with Pill Divine Yi, no one recognizes me. One had to admit she really knew how to talk. Despite many people greeting Yimo when he came in, equally as many people looked at Yimo with enmity. Now that Tang Tsongyin said this, the atmosphere eased up. Yimo, where's my dad? A crisp voice broke this friendly atmosphere. The voice was so agitated as though it was going to devour Yimo immediately. Yimo looked at the person talking. It was Dragon Race Ao Man. In fact, Ao Man had a good impression of Yimo, but when her dad was lost in the process of chasing Yimo, her good impression went too. Yimo hadn't even spoken yet, and Aol Wan reproached, "Don't be rude, Ao Man, and let everyone laugh at you." Aol Wan then saluted with his fists to Yimo. Pill Divine Yi is young but astoundingly powerful. Aol Wan would like to learn from you when you're free. Yimo said calmly, "I'll stick to the end for whoever wants to challenge me. But everyone who challenges me only has one chance." Arrogant. A sneer sounded. Yimo had long seen this person. This person harbored killing intent towards him right from the beginning. This was Beast Race Primordial Essence Divine Emperor Fan Gao. Zhuge Tianhua was sitting next to him. He was a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor too, but his chi wasn't stable. Yimo ignored him and found a place to sit. Fan Gao was furious, but there was nothing he could do. After Yimo sat down, he looked at a half-primordial essence man. He sensed a chi similar to Winged Race Primordial Essence Divine Emperor Tsong Luo. Seeing Yimo look at him, this half-primordial essence Divine Emperor quickly got up and saluted with his fists. "Winged Race Hong, how greet Pill Divine Yi. Tsong Luo probably didn't go back, right? If he did, you wouldn't be able to sit here," Yimo said. It was because of Tsong Luo's Chaos Green Lotus that he was attacked by the 4 races. The disappearance of the 4 primordial essence Divine Emperor had direct relations to Tsong Luo. Tsong Luo Divine Emperor left the Winged Race and is no longer our primordial essence Divine Emperor. After this happened, the Winged Race is very scared and we've apologized to all the races. I would like to represent the Winged Race to apologize to Pill Divine Yi too. Hong Hao seemed very scared. Yimo sneered. Only an idiot would believe that Tsong Luo left the Winged Race. No one would believe this. He probably came here just to apologize to the races and get everyone's attention. The Winged Race had apologized, and if they were still going to annihilate his race, there would be nothing he could do. Plus, he knew that other races wouldn't annihilate his race for such things. It was pointless unless Tsong Luo was definitely at the Winged Race. Tsong Luo wasn't there, and he was a primordial essence Divine Emperor. No race would annihilate the Winged Race and enjoy a primordial essence Divine Emperor ambushing in the dark. You don't need to apologize to me. When I see Tsong Luo, I will settle things with him, Yimo said calmly. Hong Hao didn't mind Yimo's words and saluted with his fists before sitting down. He seemed very calm. I didn't expect to be able to see Immortal Friend Lien. Yuanzhou really don't dare to believe. Immortal Friend Lien, please come in. Yuanzhou's hospitable voice sounded. It was definitely a primordial essence Divine Emperor coming. Haha, I haven't seen a few old friends for a long time. I've come to visit them and let me little disciple see the world. A coarse voice sounded. Yimo immediately knew who came just from this voice. Immortal Friend Lien Yao, I really didn't expect to see you again. I've been to Yuanyan Palace a few times, but it was locked by formation. It's really a huge surprise to see Immortal Friend Lien today. Aolwan got up and said, Even Len Shuachi and Fan Gao got up. However, Zhao Dan sneered and looked aside. Tang Tsongyin didn't move. Clearly, she didn't know this person. The blue-robed man soon looked at Emo. "You're here too?" The blue-robed man asked in surprise. Emo said calmly, "You can come but I can't?" This blue-robed man was clearly human race, primordial essence, divine emperor. The human race was in chaos, but this guy hides in some Yunyan palace and is so close to the demon and beast race. Emo immediately disliked him. His disciple was actually Immortal Realm Feng Kong Grand Emperor. Seeing Feng Kong again, Emo was definitely not going to let him go. However, he didn't plan to attack now as this was the demon race land. If he killed now, it would cause public outrage. Even if he was to kill, he would need to find an excuse later. Feng Kong also saw Emo. When he saw Emo sitting with the primordial essence divine emperors, his heart was rocking with shock. What was Emo before? Even though he was able to fight with him and attract more than 10 immortal emperors to go to his sect opening ceremony, he only felt Emo was a threat. He knew that one day he would completely surpass Emo. But now, Emo could sit with primordial essence divine emperor and his master seemed to know Emo. He looked down. With his master here, he wasn't afraid of Emo. He was thinking about what secrets Emo had to be able to cultivate this fast. Even he couldn't see Emo's cultivation level now. When he went into the divine emperor from the divine Tao realm, he ventured in the void for a few hundred years and encountered his master. He had been with his master in the Yunyan palace since. This was extremely great fortune. Emo had no master but could cultivate this quickly. How could his secret be simple? The green-robed man just smiled, hearing Emo's tone wasn't so friendly. Perhaps he didn't want to talk much to Emo. He looked to Zhao Dan and said nothing. When he looked at Tang Tsongyin, he smiled. This must be Phoenix Race Immortal Friend. How is Immortal Friend Yaoqing? Tang Xianxia got up and saluted with his fists. My master is very well. Thanks for asking. Good. Then bring me a message to her. Tell her that Lian Yaoduo thanks her for before. When I'm free, I'll definitely go visit her. The green-robed man said. Yuanzhou saw the greetings were pretty much done and quickly said, Everyone please enjoy immortal fruit. It's a wonderful time to see so many immortal friends come. Then he said to the two pretty maids behind him, Invite out our demon race saint to greet everyone. It said the demon race saint came from the immortal realm. Emo wanted to see too. Who from the immortal realm would become demon race saint? At this moment, there was Zhan Bingyu's joyful voice from the golden page world. Emo scanned with spirit sense and noticed that she had reached Tao essence. When she knew that Emo was in the demon race, she immediately expressed she wanted to help. Emo didn't hesitate and let her come out of the golden page world, landing next to him. Seeing an extremely beautiful woman suddenly appear next to Emo, no one felt strange. Which divine emperor here didn't have small world? Even truth spirit world was ordinary here. There were many who knew about Zhen Bingyu here. People have long heard of Zhen Bingyu's unparalleled beauty in the void marketplace. The maid saw Zhen Bingyu appear and quickly put a seat next to Emo. Not bad. Emo raised his thumb. He knew that Zhen Bingyu definitely had her own fortunes. The cultivation resources he gave her would at most let her reach Tao molding divine emperor, but when he saw her, she was already Tao actualization divine emperor. Tang Tsongyin smiled. No wonder Pill Divine Yi doesn't consider ordinary women. You already have such a pretty goddess. Pill Divine Yi really has keen eyes. Emo said awkwardly, You're too funny, immortal friend Tang. The rest of the guests had their eyes on the door. At this moment, one man and woman came out. Everyone saw these two were primordial essence divine emperor. The pretty goddess was the saint. Meanwhile, the man was the Tao partner they found for the saint. The instant he saw these two, Emo's eyes narrowed. The heaven-shocking killing intent erupted from his body. He didn't even have such killing intent when he saw Feng Kong. Zhen Bingyu was sitting closest to Emo and immediately felt this. She held Emo's hands worriedly. Everyone nearby felt Emo's intense killing intent. Emo calmed down when he felt Zhen Bingyu's hands. He patted her hand and hid that killing intent. However, he was still immensely shocked. He didn't expect he would see Dongfang Wang here. He knew that Dongfang Wang reached the immortal realm and was the #1 prodigy of the Xinqiang cultivation realm. Emo didn't expect he was this powerful. He had reached primordial essence in just 2,000 years. This wasn't explainable just with talent. The only possibility was that Dongfang Wang had a powerful treasure on par with his golden page world. What shocked Emo more was the demon race saint. It was actually Yi. Zhantai Dingjie and him had the same secret. He took the two out of the title status tower and the three stood at the top receiving their immortal king naming. At that time, Dingjie was North Time Immortal King. Zhantai was Heaven Moon Immortal King, while he was Eternity Immortal King. The three even agreed they would work hard and fight together, but many years after, Yi became the demon race saint. Dingjie and Yi have been his best friends. Dingjie left his sect to help him and Yi was locked up in the Earth Abyss Fire Pond. He went to Jiufan Immortal Pond to save Yi. There, he realized Yi got a huge fortune. She used the fire lotus there to purify her immortal root and wisdom. She even got the #1 lost sutra of the Jiufan Immortal Pond. Zhantai also learned a sliver of the secret of the three-birth chant. She combined it with the sutra to create her own Tao. Thinking of the three who came out of the title status tower. He and Zhantai were Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. Emo wondered if Dingjie reached Primordial Essence Divine Emperor too. Emo suddenly missed Dingjie. He was a straightforward person. Dingjie was more important to him than Zhantai. However, Yi became the demon race saint and stood with Dongfang Wang, this bastard. The two saw Emo as well. As soon as Dongfang Wang saw Emo, his eyes showed intense killing intent. In his eyes, Emo was a dead person. With his primordial essence, he was certain no primordial essence was a match for him. The demon race was perfect for him. It was more suitable for him to cultivate Great Kuan Demon God Sutra. It was not the same sutra before. He fused it with Buddhist cultivation method in the abstruse yellow orb. Dongfang Wang believed that no one's cultivation method in this universe could compare with him. City Lord Yi, you really are everywhere. Wherever I go, you follow. Since you came to my demon race, you won't need to keep following me. Just stay with me and be my servant. Ha 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 ha. Dongfang Wang laughed. He was laughing, but his face was terrifyingly bleak as he saw Zhen Bingyu next to Emo. The woman he loved always appeared next to Emo, whether it was in Jiqi or Zhen Bingyu. Even though he was a primordial essence divine emperor now, he couldn't tolerate this. Those people greeting the two immediately realized that there was a huge enmity between Emo and Dongfang Wang. Those who didn't know how powerful Dongfang Wang was already stopped greeting him. Emo ignored Dongfang Wang. Dongfang Wang considered him dead, but he considered Dongfang Wang dead too. He looked at Zhantai. She looked calmly back at Emo. Only Zhuge Tianhua noticed Zhantai's eyes. When she first saw Emo, her eyes weren't calm. There was a sliver of excitement. But when she saw Zhen Bingyu next to Emo, her eyes went calm and plain. When we got our immortal king names, do you remember what Dingjie said? I don't know what happened to you, but you're a human from the immortal realm, and yet you became the saint of the demon race. Do you remember that your cultivation method and fortune came from the Jiufan Immortal Pond? Emo tried to sound calm. Zhantai said calmly, Thank you for the help you gave me, immortal friend Yi. If immortal friend Yi goes to the sect, then please bring my apology and gratitude. I'm the demon race saint now. I have nothing to do with the human race. Please don't take Dingjie's joke so seriously. Emo didn't expect Zhantai to talk to him like this. He didn't bother persuading her anymore and said, Whether or not I take Dingjie's words seriously has nothing to do with you. Dingjie is Dingjie, you are you. Don't put yourself together. Dongfang Wang just realized that there was a special relationship between Emo and Zhantai. His heart burned with even more fury. Haha, after some people come, it seems everyone has enmity with him. Such connections. I admire it. Zhuge Tianhua sneered. Jiaodan heard this and was furious. Kid, watch your mouth. Since when did your grandpa Jiaodan have enmity with Emo? Little bastard. Zhuge Tianhua's white face was angered red. He immediately sneered, Jiaodan, you're a primordial essence divine emperor, but so am I. Don't act old in front of me. Pfft. you're primordial essence divine emperor? So cool. When your grandpa was primordial essence divine emperor, you were still waiting to go into samsara. Zhao Dan said. Yuanzhou quickly said, Immortal friend Zhao Dan. Immortal friend Tianhua. Today's the ceremony of the demon race. Please show us some face. Zhao Dan sneered and didn't keep scorning Zhuge Tianhua. Immortal friend Yi. Today's the great day for the demon race. Please don't say anything that will hurt the relationship between the human and demon race. Yuanzhou said. What Yemo said to Yi made him feel very uncomfortable. Yemo said plainly, the human and demon race have no relationship. Don't say any more cringe words, immortal friend Yi. Yuanzhou's face changed, and just when he wanted to speak, Zhantai Yi said, Yuanzhou divine emperor. Immortal friend Yi is a guest. The demon race has this magnanimity. Zhan Bingyu finally understood the conflict between Yemo and Dongfang Wang. She grabbed Yemo's hand apologetically. Yemo, sorry. I didn't know that person had conflict with you. I once gave him some immortal crystals. If I knew earlier, I would have annihilated him with a fireball. Zhan Bingyu's words cut apart Dongfang Wang's tiny hopes into pieces like a knife. His heart was bleeding. When Zhan Bingyu gave him cultivation resources as an immortal king, she became Dongfang Wang's goddess. No matter how calculated he was, the deepest part of his heart was etched with Zhan Bingyu's name. Even though he was primordial essence divine emperor, Zhan Bingyu was irreplaceable in his heart. Zhantai Yi didn't mind Zhan Bingyu's words and smiled to the guests. Welcome, immortal friends of different races coming to my primordial essence ceremony. Please forgive me for any inconveniences. Yuanzhou for some reason didn't keep talking to Yemo and saluted with his fists too. Guests, please have a seat. Other than our saint's primordial essence ceremony, there's one more thing today. I believe everyone knows that the demon race is willing to join up with all the races and wants to use this opportunity to find a Tao partner for Saint. With this, there was immediately a round of applause. The only one who didn't clap was Yemo and Zhan Bingyu. Immortal friend, ye don't seem too happy. Do you have something against the demon race? Everyone was clapping, but immortal friend Yi did nothing. Fan Gao didn't let go of any chance to draw hatred towards Yemo. Yemo glanced at Fan Gao. What's my happiness got to do with you? You just want to provoke a fight between me and Yuanzhou. If you can provoke Yuanzhou to attack me, then you win. Yuanzhou was calm, but his heart was burning with fury. He wanted to kill Yemo immediately. At the same time, he hated Fan Gao. Fan Gao thought very well, but Zhuge Tianhua didn't understand him. He glared coldly at Dongfang Wang. Everyone knew he was a pair with the saint, but now, the demon race saint was sitting with this nobody. This was a slap to his face. How could Zhuge Tianhua take this? At this moment, Dongfang Wang got up. He first saluted to Yuanzhou and then said, I've long loved Saint Yi, however, her beauty is unparalleled. Beauty unparalleled? How come I see someone prettier than her here? Tang Tsongyin sneered. Zhantai Yi's face was very calm, but her heart wasn't. When Yemo was titled Eternity Immortal King, she knew Yemo wasn't ordinary. She had made up her mind to not fall behind Yemo too much and at least be able to help him. Later on, she got the Jiufan 9 Lotus Sutra. As her cultivation level grew, Yemo's status in her heart grew ordinary. When she became Demon Saint and learned some of the Tao waves of 3 birth chant, she realized that Yemo's accomplishments came from 3 birth chant. At this moment, Yemo was no different to an ordinary person in her heart. Anyone who got Yemo's cultivation method would have such accomplishments. Yemo and Ding Jie were the same, just an ordinary friend. The divine Tao realm was broken and she had been cultivating in the demon race. The human race didn't matter much to her. Zhantai Yi didn't know that the Jiufan 9 Lotus Sutra was originally a demon race divine sutra. It was called Jiufan 9 Demon Sutra. It was obtained by a talented immortal emperor of the Jiufan Immortal Pond. When he saw it, he immediately knew this sutra wasn't suitable for immortal realm cultivation. But she knew this demon sutra was too powerful and it was a waste to abandon it. She relied on her extreme talent to change the sutra into Jiufan 9 Lotus Sutra. After she started cultivating it, She realized she underestimated this demon sutra. She still couldn't completely control it. In order to not let this sutra go to waste nor let herself destruct, this immortal emperor left and went to find the Jiu Fan Fire Lotus. She wanted to use it to cultivate the sutra. When this immortal emperor found the lotus, she already couldn't suppress the demonic attributes of the sutra. Eventually, she used great will to seal herself in the earth abyss fire pond and disappeared. Xianxia found her remains at the bottom of the pond as well as the lotus and cultivation method. Xianxia had the best talent, and with the lotus and Yimo's 3 birth chant, she progressed rapidly while cultivating the edited sutra. When she reached the demon race, she progressed even faster, and the demon race helped her at all costs. Despite having the lotus and 3 birth chant learnings, Xianxia changed greatly after cultivating the sutra. Demon race cultivation method was about self. In any situation, oneself was the main character. When Xianxia was with Yimo and Ding Jie, the two were helped by Yimo, so Yimo was the main character. She never thought of going higher than Yimo, but as she grew stronger, her character changed even greater. Now that she reached primordial essence, she didn't look down on Yimo, but she didn't consider Yimo as someone stronger than her. When she first saw Yimo, she was happy, but when she saw Zhen Bingyu next to Yimo, she immediately went cold. In her subconsciousness, Yimo should come next to her like Dongfang Wang. Tang Tsongyin meant that Zhen Bingyu was prettier than her. How could she stay calm? Zhuge Tianhua's attention had been fixated on Xianxia. He saw all her emotions and was about to stand up to talk. However, before he could, the primordial essence divine emperor next to Xianxia said, "No matter what other people say, Saint Yi is the best in my heart. Because I'm not the only one who can see her excellence. So many prodigies from different races came this time. Dongfang Wang is willing to go through all of you." Immediately, everyone knew there was a good show to watch. People wondered who Dongfang Wang would challenge first. Dongfang Wang suddenly turned to Yimo, "Pill Divine Yi. I've long heard of your big name. Dongfang Wang will go through you first." Dongfang Wang wanted to kill Yimo, and Yimo wanted to kill him too. However, Yimo didn't want to fight with him here. He was certain that Dongfang Wang had good things on him. He would need to find a place with no one. Zhuge Tianhua long wanted to talk. He couldn't resist getting up. "Immortal friend Dongfang, I love Saint Yi greatly too. How about I fight with you first?" With this, people immediately felt bewildered. They didn't understand why Zhuge Tianhua stood up for Yimo. Even if he was to challenge Dongfang Wang, it should be after Dongfang Wang fought Yimo. Fangao's face was extremely bleak. He didn't expect this. Yimo sat and didn't move. He knew why Zhuge Tianhua asked to fight first. Zhuge Tianhua was ranked 2nd on the divine rank when he was Dao Essence. He was pretty much peerless in Dao Essence. Now that he reached primordial essence, he thought he was peerless too. Dongfang Wang had no fame. What if he relied on pills to reach primordial essence? Zhuge Tianhua was scared of Yimo killing Dongfang Wang, and he wouldn't have a chance to fight. He was going to shower his power in front of Xianxia. "In that case, please do." Xianxia acted as though their fights had nothing to do with her. In the middle of the guest palace was a spacious short stage. Zhuge Tianhua stood on it. Yimo knew that this was a space restriction. It seemed only 40 meters wide, but it might be 4 kilometers wide. After Zhuge Tianhua reached primordial essence, his Dao waves flowed freely. He was already handsome, so as soon as he stood on the stage, he immediately caught everyone's eyes. Dongfang Wang stood up and saluted with his fists to everyone and then to Xianxia before walking to the stage. Dongfang Wang looked calmer than Zhuge Tianhua, but his temperament was far weaker than Zhuge Tianhua. Zhuge Tianhua waved his hand and a white jade flute appeared in his hand. Treasure-dropping white jade flute. Many guests exclaimed. Yimo had heard of this magic artifact. It was a fake primordial spirit artifact. This magic artifact's power was no weaker than ordinary primordial spirit artifact. This flute could create a sound that can smash open a realm domain. Used with spirit sense god art, it was much more powerful than ordinary great god arts. The most powerful part of this flute was that it could disconnect the connection between spirit sense and magic artifact. If spirit sense lost connection to magic artifact, the magic artifact was pretty much for show. Everyone here knew that Dongfang Wang had trouble. The two were both primordial essence divine emperor and just broke through. Under such situation, whoever had the better magic artifact had the advantage. Dongfang Wang looked at the flute in contempt. Immortal friend Tianhua, please attack first. Otherwise, if you lose, people will say I ambushed you. Zhuge Tianhua didn't mind these words and attacked. Even though the stage was barricaded by restrictions, the guests still heard the ear-piercing sound. It seemed to seep into sea of consciousness and crush the soul. Despite having many layers of restrictions, this sound was still this terrifying. One could imagine what Dongfang Wang was going through. The flute turned into large pieces of sound beams that materialized and completely enveloped the space Dongfang Wang was in. At the same time, Dongfang Wang smashed out a huge black figure. It instantly turned into an extremely huge mountain. Even the restrictions of the stage were cracking under this mountain. It was as though this mountain was too heavy and would crush the restrictions here. Emo's eyes narrowed. This was definitely the world mountain of the Truth Fall Forbidden Grounds. He didn't expect Dongfang Wang to have it. It's World Mountain. Zhao Dan's eyes lit up, but then he said, this is the piece that disappeared. Clearly, Zhao Dan knew the World Mountain was in the Nether Realm. It seems this person might have a spirit item too. Tong Tsongyin's tone became serious. Imo calmed down. He knew that the World Mountain attracted spirit items. After leaving the Nether Realm, it would attract a spirit item to grow on it. Due to this attribute, the World Mountain could be made into the Divine Tao Realm World Meridian. That way, the Divine Tao Realm would be more stable and God spirit items would grow better. Bitter bamboo was growing on it before. Crack. An explosion seeped out from the restriction. Zhuge Tianhua's white flute beams and sounds were instantly smashed by Dongfang Wang's World Mountain. The World Mountain was too heavy despite being just one corner. Zhuge Tianhua was extremely shocked. He had been peerless and never once was he in the lower hand at the start of the battle. This Dongfang Wang was too terrifying. He was certain that if Dongfang Wang competed for divine rank first, he would be third regardless. Despite this, Zhuge Tianhua wasn't scared. He waved out a spinning space in his hand and smashed out. Space God Art. He wanted to use this spinning space law to suppress the World Mountain. At this moment, a faint Buddhist light came out from below the World Mountain. Seeing this Buddhist light, Zhuge Tianhua dazed. He felt this demonic killing intent but also this holy Buddhist light. A thought rose in his mind. He needed to stop and get hit by this demonic killing intent to become a real Buddha. This feeling was too strange. Zhuge Tianhua immediately knew this was wrong. He was going to forcefully space the space before him, but the World Mountain was too heavy. Even his spinning space was crushed. Spurge. Blood mist flashed and Zhuge Tianhua's soul was annihilated. Dongfang Wang waved his hand and took the World Mountain and Zhuge Tianhua's belongings. Many guests suddenly sprung up. Zhuge Tianhua was this powerful and he was killed in such a short time but someone unheard of. Fan Gao stood up with fuming eyes. He wanted to go up immediately and kill Dongfang Wang but he knew he was no match for Dongfang Wang. Even the rest of the primordial essence divine emperors looked Dongfang Wang in shock, not understanding how there was such a powerful primordial essence divine emperor. Even Zhao Dan showed some concern. Tang Tsongyin was silent. She knew she was no match for Dongfang Wang. Dongfang Wang stood in the center of the stage and said to Yimo City Lord Yi, "Today, I'm fighting for Xianxia. I want to see City Lord Ye's God Art." Yimo got up calmly, "As you wish." Everyone looked at Yimo in shock. Dongfang Wang showed such power and Yimo dared to agree to fight. How bold was he? Was the news true? Did Yimo really kill those 4 primordial essence divine emperors? Dongfang Wang said calmly, "We both know Xianxia. If we fight here, it would hurt her regardless of who won. Plus, we can't use our full power with the restrictions here. Why don't we go to the void?" "Very well, as you wish again." Yimo knew what Dongfang Wang was thinking. He guessed that he had good things too. "Saint Yi, wait here for me. I will be back soon." Dongfang Wang walked out and smiled at Xianxia. Xianxia smiled and said nothing. Yimo just wanted to talk but he saw Zhen Bingyu's smile. Yemo, you go first. I will wait for you here. Just come back quickly. Yemo knew what Jin Bingyu meant. She was slapping Dongfang Wang's face. Dongfang Wang spoke to Zhan Taiyi, but she ignored him. Meanwhile, Jin Bingyu spoke to Yemo first, saying she would wait for him. Dongfang Wang's smile immediately dropped bleak. She didn't know why Jin Bingyu was confident that Yemo wouldn't be killed by him. Yemo wanted to take Jin Bingyu away as he didn't feel safe leaving her alone here. Seeing this, Tang Tsongyin smiled. Pill Divine, you just go. Sister Bingyu is so nice. She will be fine. She was telling Yemo that no one will touch Jin Bingyu with her here. Zhao Dan Monk nodded to Yemo. He said nothing, but his intentions were clear. Dongfang Wang studied Jin Bingyu. He really wanted to know how she would look at him after he killed Yemo and came back. Thinking about this, Dongfang Wang walked out of the guest palace and tore open the space before him. Yemo wanted to kill Dongfang Wang more desperately. He saluted with his fists to Zhao Dan and Tang Tsongyin before leaving. No one followed them. Everyone knew what the two were thinking. The two wanted what each other possessed. Everyone knew that regardless of who won, those who went to sea would have no good fate. Yuanzhou saw Yemo and Dongfang Wang tear open space on the demon raceland. His face was calm, but his heart was furious. He only saw Dongfang Wang's power today. He just realized that he was no match for Dongfang Wang at all. Since Dongfang Wang dared to tear open space here, clearly, he didn't take the demon race nor him seriously. As for Yemo, he didn't feel that angry. Yemo was always cocky and tore open space in the dragon race. How could he give face to the demon race? Who are you to Yemo? Zhan Taiyi asked Jin Bingyu. Zhan Bingyu smiled. I'm his Dao partner. You're lying. Zhan Taiyi knew Jin Bingyu was still a virgin, but she couldn't really say this as she was a virgin too. Jin Bingyu put away that calm smile. Whether or not I'm lying has nothing to do with you. I didn't ask you to believe me. Fan Gao suddenly asked Goddess Bingyu. That Dongfang Wang has World Mountain and powerful god arts. Aren't you worried about Yemo at all? Why would I worry about him? Jin Bingyu asked. Everyone knew Fan Gao wanted to scout for some information, but Jin Bingyu's counter-question made him at a loss for words. Yemo on Earth, just because you were a cultivator, you abused the Dongfang family like a dog. Today, I will let you understand what it feels like to be a dog. Dongfang Wang said hideously at Yemo. His seeping killing intent was going to tear open the surrounding void. You will soon find that even though you're primordial essence, you're still a dog. Yemo said calmly. Haha? Dongfang Wang laughed. I will let you know what peerless is. I Dongfang Wang am peerless. When I kill you, I will take your essence spirit to take away Jin Bingyu. Then, Dongfang Wang smashed out the world mountain. Demon and Buddhist lights swept out millions of ripples, forming a material realm domain. If someone saw this, they would know that Dongfang Wang didn't even use his full power fighting Zhuge Tianhua. Demon Buddhist, Dongfang Wang yelled. This was his strongest god art, Demon Buddhist realm domain. Under such god art, even the most powerful primordial essence would soon fall under the Demon Buddhist light. Yemo seemed to not see the world mountain coming. He took a step in the void casually and waved his hand, Samsara. Dongfang Wang was shocked seeing Yemo ignore his Demon Buddhist god art. Before he could release a new god art, the endless flow of time and samsara wrapped around his space, filling his heart and body. At this moment, he saw how proud he was after reaching primordial essence, and then he saw how joyful he was getting the world mountain and Fusang tree. Time flowed like water, but water was heartless. Before he could wake up from his joy, he was swept by the joy of all the Tao fruits he got in the Chaos Star realm. He saw his excitement of his Tao vindication. He saw that goddess who gave him immortal crystals. These instants flowed away like sand. They were unstoppable and left no traces behind. Luckily, he had greater surprises waiting for him. He saw he got the abstruse yellow orb. He got the #1 divine sutra of the demon race. He saw him fusing the demon and Buddhist Tao. He suddenly saw other people's looks aging with time, while time left less and less marks on him. Wait, other people's time was going forward, but his was going backwards. Fusang tree swept a green ray that removed the time marks. Dongfang Wang suddenly woke up. He found his world mountain was pressed by a long purple sword. He was in Yimo's realm domain and he couldn't move at all. What god art was that? Dongfang Wang asked numbly in his shock. He was completely subjugated by Yimo. He could only feel the flow of time. Ages, Yimo said calmly. No matter how peerless Dongfang Wang was, it was meaningless to him. His Tao had surpassed ordinary universe great Taos. He vindicated his own chaos Tao. Ever since he returned from the nether realm, his Tao was becoming perfected. Yimo, Dongfang Wang, am peerless and yet I underestimated you. I hate this. Dongfang Wang's eyes spewed with flames. He didn't feel he was weaker than Yimo. He was subjugated before he even attacked. If he didn't underestimate Yimo, this would never happen. Who had powerful fortune like him? He got abstruse yellow orb, Fusang tree, the #1 demon sutra, Tao fruits. With such powerful fortunes, he was actually captured by Yimo? How could he not go crazy? Yimo suddenly waved out 9 golden bone arrows and a golden bow. The arrows circled around Yimo but didn't shoot. That powerful lethal force already drained all the surrounding life force. Looking at Dongfang Wang's dazed eyes, Yimo suddenly said, "This is golden arrow of divine extermination. I have all 9 arrows. If I want to kill you with these arrows, you won't survive more than 3 arrows." Then Yimo released a huge gourd and said, "This is 3 treasure primordial essence gourd, primordial spirit artifact. If I were to kill you with this, you won't last 3 seconds." Then, Yimo waved out a blue flame. "This is divine flame blue like morning sky, the #1 flame in the universe. If I were to burn you, you would already be dust." Little Blue looked at Dongfang Wang and said in contempt, "This trash doesn't even deserve me to burn him." Then Yimo waved out more. "This is primordial spirit artifact melt space, primordial spirit artifact chaos gourd, primordial spirit artifact immortal palace landscape painting." Looking at the dumbfounded Dongfang Wang, Yimo waved out 9 great primordial god runes. These 9 runes completely bound the world mountain and freed Zisu. When Zisu landed on Yimo's hand, Yimo waved, "This is the #1 magic artifact I use. Zisu, I only need 1 strike to kill you. By the way, I just used great primordial god rune. That only takes a second to kill you." Looking at all these things, Dongfang Wang was so shocked he couldn't speak. Yimo didn't use a single of his magic artifact and god arts to subjugate him. Just how big was the difference between them? He thought he was peerless, but now he realized what true peerless was. Sweat trickled down his forehead. He was shocked there was someone as powerful as Yimo in the universe. He finally realized why Yimo didn't even take him seriously. He hated this. Why was he still weaker than Yimo after getting all these treasures? Yimo said coldly, "I have all these things but I don't show off. You have a mere world mountain and you dare to show off in front of me." Dongfang Wang spat a big mouthful of blood. He really didn't expect Yimo meant it. Even though he was primordial essence, he was still abused like a dog by Yimo's small ginseng. "Look, this is indeed a trash." He couldn't even take it after a few words and he spat blood? Primordial essence? More like primordial trash. Shadowless commented. "When I just came out, I seemed to have heard him saying he was peerless. Is he talking about peerless in spitting blood?" Small ginseng nodded. Dongfang Wang spat another mouthful of blood and sneered at Yimo. "You're this powerful but you still agreed to come fight with me. You call me a show-off but taking all these things out, you're no better than me." Yimo waved his hand and took back everything before saying, "If I annihilated you at the demon race with the wave of a hand, do you think anyone would dare to act cocky at the divine Tao realm 100 years later?" Dongfang Wang immediately realized what Yimo meant. He opened his mouth for a long time before laughing. "Yimo, I thought I was vicious enough. Today, I realize that I'm nothing compared to you." After repairing the divine Tao realm, Yimo planned to take his wives to travel the cosmos. So, he planned to weaken every race before he left. The attack on divine Tao realm 100 years later would be this opportunity. If he exposed his power before the demon race, no one would dare to go to Divine Dao Realm. Dongfang Wang laughed like crazy and his force suddenly rose. Almost in an instant, an explosion tore open the void. The realm domain binding Dongfang Wang was broken. Yimo's God Essence giant hand instantly grabbed at the void. While Dongfang Wang's essence spirit and storage ring was grabbed by Yimo, a yellow beam exploded and disappeared from the void. Even Yimo couldn't stop this yellow beam in time. Haha, Yimo, even if I don't run, you won't be able to get my abstruse yellow orb. Dongfang Wang's essence spirit laughed in Yimo's hand. Yimo just realized that the light that dashed away was abstruse yellow orb. Yimo felt quite regretful. The abstruse yellow orb was a world creation treasure, but Dongfang Wang gave it up. Dongfang Wang was quite powerful to be able to keep his essence spirit after self-destruction. If he wasn't fast, Dongfang Wang wouldn't escaped. Yimo couldn't be bothered talking. His hand crushed and Dongfang Wang's essence spirit turned to dust. After killing Dongfang Wang, Yimo felt a lot more comfortable. The three brothers had been a thorn and today he completely removed it. Yimo didn't really care about losing the abstruse yellow orb. He already had enough good things. He was very happy he could kill Dongfang Wang. Yimo took the world mountain bound by great primordial god rune. Yimo was very happy. At least the world mountain didn't escape. Yimo cut with his spirit sense blades and he opened the restriction of the storage ring. Yimo dazed when he scanned inside. He was dazed not because Dongfang Wang's storage ring was a small world, but there was a person constantly making formation flags and studying formation inside. Yimo immediately took this old man out and asked in disbelief, "Old Lu, how were you captured by Dongfang Wang and making formation flags for him?" Lu Wu just realized that the person before him was Yimo. He couldn't react for a long time. After confirming it was Yimo, he said in surprise and joy, "Brother Yi, it really is you. Where is Dongfang Wang, that kid? I killed him." Yimo was guessing why Lu Wu fell into Dongfang Wang's hands. "You can kill Dongfang Wang?" Lu Wu looked at Yimo in extreme shock. Yimo seemed very ordinary. He had seen Dongfang Wang's power with his own eyes. Then he thought of something. "Brother Yi, where is this?" "The void outside the Divine Dao Realm." "How were you captured by Dongfang Wang? What formation flags are you making?" Yimo asked. Lu Wu was only abstruse immortal. "Why did Dongfang Wang keep him?" "You've vindicated Dao already?" Lu Wu clearly was no ordinary abstruse immortal. He knew a lot from Dongfang Wang. Then he sighed, "It's all because of that world rock. Dongfang Wang found me through that. After Dongfang Wang knew that I was a forgery master, he gave me many forgery and formation jade slips for me to study. He then took me to a place saying there was Chaos Green Lotus there, but he couldn't go into. He had a formation that could get the Chaos Green Lotus, but that formation needed hundreds of millions of formation flags. I had to make formation flags for him. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how many millennia I would need to do this for." Yimo just realized. No wonder he couldn't find Lu Wu. "How about I send you back to the Immortal Realm? I built a MOU Immortal sect there. I'm going to do some things. After I'm done, I'll come to the MOU Immortal sect for you." Yimo said. "You can send me to the Immortal Realm?" Lu Wu asked in surprise and joy. His cultivation level was too low. He felt extremely uncomfortable in the void. Yimo tore open the void and sent Lu Wu in. "You'll know when you see it." After sending Lu Wu off, Yimo returned to the demon race. When he went in the guest palace, almost everyone got up in shock. Everyone saw Dongfang Wang's power, but Yimo came back safely. Zhen Bingyu got up immediately. She looked confident, but when Yimo truly returned, she relaxed. "Pill Divine Yi, where is Dongfang Wang?" Fan Gao asked immediately. Yimo ignored the two and saluted with his fists to Zhao Dan and Tang Tsongyin, two immortal friends. "You're welcome to be guests at the Divine Dao Realm. I'll be going today." Hearing this, some people who knew Yimo all got up. Even Tang Tsongyin couldn't resist asking, "Pill Divine Yi?" Yimo knew what she wanted to ask and smiled. "I didn't see. Perhaps left due to some reason." Yimo spoke ambiguously. Everyone looked at Yimo in disbelief. There was no way Dongfang Wang would leave. Yimo didn't care what they thought. He walked up to the green-robed man and said, "Your disciple has some conflict with me. I need to ask him a few questions." Xianxia's face changed seeing Yemo come back. She also got up saying, "Yemo, I have a few questions I want to ask you alone." Yemo grabbed Feng Kong without the green-robed man's permission. Then, Yemo tore open the space in the guest palace and left with Jin Bingyu. Yemo didn't even look at Xianxia once, much less answer her question. The green-robed man's face was green. He got up and saluted with his fists to Yi Yuanzhou before leaving. He didn't tear open space here. As for whether he left to save his disciple or had no face to stay here, no one knew. Xianxia's face went green seeing Yemo couldn't be bothered talking to her. She looked at where Yemo tore open space for a long while before sitting down dejectedly. In the void, Yemo threw Feng Kong on the side and asked coldly, "Feng Kong, many years ago, a woman called Wan Jun went to your Grand Emperor estate. Where is she now? Tell me everything about her." Seeing Yemo come back alone, Feng Kong long suspected that Dongfang Wang was killed by Yemo. "I don't know where she went. I only knew she was an immortal emperor and was heavily injured and—" Feng Kong didn't finish and was interrupted by Yemo, "And you took advantage of her right." Feng Kong couldn't do anything in the wake of absolute power. That was the last word he said before being annihilated. MOU Immortal Sect Main Peak. MOU Peak. Luo Ying, Mu Xiaoyun, Song Yangzhu, Ning Qingxue, Zhen Bingyu and Su Jingwen stood by Yemo's side. They knew that 100 years later, Yemo would repair the Divine Dao Realm. The Divine Dao Realm might even have a big battle with many other races. "Husband, don't worry. The Divine Dao Realm has many divine emperors too. We're not necessarily weaker than them." Ning Qingxue held Yemo's arm and said. They had been with Yemo here for a long time, but Yemo said nothing. Ning Qingxue thought he was worrying about 100 years later. Luo Ying said softly, "He's not worried about that. He's just thinking of some people." Yemo looked at them and smiled. "I'm scared they won't come 100 years later." Yemo then sighed. "I just suddenly thought of Yixing. I wonder if he's okay and Ting Ting." Yemo then looked into the distant void. There was someone he was most worried and most eager to see. It was the girl who was willing to jump off the building with him. The girl who gave him the Chaos World. It was a girl who was scared of ghosts but wanted to go hunt ghosts. But after reaching primordial essence, he still couldn't find any traces of Luo Xian. "Luo Xian, where are you?" The end.